Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, it's just a financial freedom conversation because around here, in case you're new, we try to get our freedom papers early and often. And is it the American dream or American nightmare? Let me hear from you what you think it is because I know what I think it is. So that means when you know it's a nightmare, you're trying to wake up. You're trying to make sure things are better. You running away. You're actually fighting or flighting, or you're saying, how can I maneuver these bad waters, bad areas? And welcome. Stop struggling now, gear. And it's apropos. Nobody's coming to save you. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I want to thank you so much for being here this evening, and please share the videos. You never know who you're going to help, or you never know who's looking for help. So please share the videos. And if you saw the YouTube trailer and received the notification from YouTube, please let me know in the chat room. Now, there is a disclaimer because it's Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And on Wednesday night live streams, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. So if you can't get in the chat room tonight, it's because you would have to be a member of the channel. Subscriber is one thing, but member is a whole nother level with financial support of the channel. That's greatly appreciated. So they're the only ones that can be in the chat room, or they're the only ones that can join me on the live stream tonight. That's it. But you can watch. Everybody can watch and share. And again, please make sure you smash that like button. And if you like what I'm talking about tonight, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about this American freedom, American dream, American nightmare. You know, a lot of people for the last 400 years, it's been known as the American dream. Come to America, you can be anything in the world, or can you? A class system built in, but they don't actually tell you that there's a class system, but there used to be glass ceilings. And since you can't see through glass and it just looks clear, you didn't know there was a glass ceiling because when you went in for that job, they would tell you upon your appearance or your gender, they would say, this is what you're going to get, or you can't work here. So you still had an American dream, though, because you can always start your own business. You can always come up from zero. You don't have to stay in the muck. You can always come up to a level beyond your wildest dreams. So therefore, it's always the American dream. Nobody's stopping you, ladies and gentlemen, except you. But there are forces of evil that work against you to try and turn it into a nightmare along the way. And one of those forces of evil is the same people that give you a social security number. So we got to talk about how we're going to get our financial freedom papers. And tonight we're just having a financial freedom conversation. All right. So let me see who's in the house. We have Victor Marrero is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. That's how he can be in the chat room tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And he brings one of two taglines with him. This one tonight, hello all. Let's do this. We're going to make it happen, Victor Marrero, as you know. And get your pen, pad, and papers ready, ladies and gentlemen, because You never know what gems are going to be dropped, not by me, but some people here in the chat room. Occasionally, every live stream, there's some gems being dropped, some financial news and information that's being dropped. Like today, we have Mr. Powell, Federal Reserve Chairman. He's the president above all presidents, because there's other Federal Reserve Board of Regents and presidents, but he's the man that comes out and speaks on the behalf of this organization that is not voted upon, behalf of the organization that is strictly the shadow government of the United States. And they're doing shadow stuff to help out a certain segment of the population and businesses. Now, again, I will reiterate what I mentioned on the last live stream on Monday. The top 3 billionaires has more wealth than the bottom 160 million Americans. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Just 3 people have more wealth than 160 million people. In case you're don't know numbers, we literally have somewhere around 350 million citizens in the United States. That does not include people, it includes people 18 and under. So the number is probably somewhere around 320 to 325 above 18-year-olds that could have a job. Out of that, we only have 100 to 125 million of those people working. So it's easy to see why 3 people would have more than 160 million Americans. It's scary, because what you don't realize is that American dream is shrinking. So what I mean by this, just so everybody understands, if you're going to sit here and not get in a situation that you're making your money work for you, if you're going to stand pat and just go work at a job and then rest your laurels on, I'm getting Social Security. Well, if Social Security expires, which it should in about 15 years or less, what happens if there's no Social Security? And what happens if that pension fund or your 401k money is wiped out, gone, due to bailouts, mismanagement, whatever the case may be? Where are you going to be at 65, 70, 75 years old? And some things have been taken from you, like in the case of Madoff, when he took all those people's money that were retired and they had hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars set aside so they could live comfortably. And yet they get yanked a rug pull. And now they have to worry about where they're going to live. From millions of dollars in the bank or wherever, Madoff's hands, to zero. And now they're looking for jobs at 70, 75 years old. Hard to come by, because you're not going to be able to get that $120,000, $150,000, $250,000 a year job at 70 years old, more than likely. So this could be the American nightmare that some of us know is going to happen. The American dream is happening right now for a lot of people. You should be in your prime. You should be ready to go. You should be buying businesses, investing in businesses, buying stocks, buying dividend stocks, buying anything that can give you a return on investment, such as real estate, multifamily real estate. It can go with vacation rentals. You can do Airbnbs. You can go and do arbitrage with products and services and consulting, whatever you have to do, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, but you're going to need these extra streams of revenue over time. Even if I make $300,000 a year, that's nice. That's great. But guess what? From today forward, it's going to cost me more money than it costs me now for everything I'm going to buy in the future. Is it going to be double? Is it going to be triple? Is it going to be 20%, 10%? But the game is, the nightmare is, things are going to increase in price. No way around it. The cost of living goes up. All right. So that means we have to put things in place. Let me know what you guys are thinking out here. And again, if you can't respond in the chat room, there's a reason. On Wednesday night live streams, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you can watch. On Monday and Friday, Everybody can be in the chat room. Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon naturally on Wednesday night, and he brings his tagline this evening. Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I got the notification and trailer. Thank you so much for letting me know about that. Greatly appreciated. I'm about to do something. I had to change the pixels. All right. He let me know. I got the notification and trailer. This is what I love to hear. At least somebody's getting them. And I appreciate you letting me know. It's not good. Everyone wants to get in your pocket in this country. It's work, then work some more and pay bills month after month. Unfortunately, the system is rigged. You are on your own. Exactly. Exactly. You are on your own. Your tax money, 20 to 24, 25% of it is gone after you've worked the 40, 60, 80 hours a week, after you started your own business, after you have employees. Meanwhile, the guys that are setting the rules, that American dream, that are trying to turn into a nightmare, they're siphoning off. Your business could make $1 million. But depending on how you have it set up and depending on what business it is, you're already at 750,000. And if you have employees, now you add on another, you're down to 650,000. I mean, things start getting siphoned off pretty fast. And then depending on how you're going to pay yourself, if you even had a good year and you said, well, I took 200,000 out. Well, now you're going to have to give up a 40, 50, $60,000 in taxes. So this is the system that we're in. And unfortunately, the wealthy are going to get wealthier because what do? They are able to set up holding companies. They're able to set up, just like you, holding companies. They're able to set up subsidiaries of the holding companies. Then they're able to set up offshore holding companies and other LLCs offshore. So then they do business offshore and don't have to pay tax in America. And they circumvent the system, but they have excellent tax men behind them. So therefore, it's not just like you or me or anybody can just create these. You need excellent tax people, accountants, and people who do specializing in offshore setups. You can't do this just off of YouTube, even though there's people that are trying to attempt it. But I'm just saying you have to be very, very well versed, and you have to have somebody that knows what they're doing. And then you can find yourself being in the top 10% of the wealthiest, but you're going to need a lot of money out of the gate. So just letting you know, when he says the system is rigged, that's the funny part right there. It doesn't appear to be rigged because of all the stories. A person that does a startup business, he gets financing and he gets $1 billion evaluation. Somebody gives them $100 million and they are off to the races, but then they don't tell you another million people failed. He's the one that made it. Just like when you go to school, they tell you, go to school. If you have a degree, there is one thing that's true. If you have a degree, a person with a degree makes more money than a person that doesn't have a degree on average. It's not 100% because everybody that does not have a degree does not mean that they're not business owners, does not mean that they're not millionaires or billionaires. So that's not really the thing, but the majority of ordinary citizens, OCs, if you go to college, you're going to make more money over your lifetime due to your college degree. So that's a fact. But what they don't tell you is the other side of the coin. And again, I learned this valuable lesson when I graduated from school. And I'm going to brag a little bit and not brag a little bit. I went to I went to 3 schools when I counted. One school, University of Florida. My. I was in heaven. Gatorland, partied, played around, just total disaster. My first year, they send me a letter and say, Eric, you're on academic probation. I was like, damn. I guess I partied too much here. So I told my friends, hey, man, I'm coming back one more. We were on quarters at the time, one more quarter. And they were like, really? I said, yeah, man, just one more quarter to party with you guys. But this freaking English class, this rock classes, this calculus classes, I just can't hang with all this nonsense. I know I got to finish it, but I'm having too much fun around here. We're out here partying, really, literally. I mean, it's like it was, I couldn't contain myself. So then I went to a junior college for 6 months. I'm giving a little history. 6 months because of my 1 year at U of F, 1 year and a half at U of F of me playing around, GPA under 2. It's in the 1 point something, 1.4, 1.5, something like this. I come to go to a junior college, and for 6 months, I took 3 semesters straight, 20 credits plus 20 to 20. I did 20 credits, 23 credits, 20 credits, which is a lot of classes to offset my GPA for the U of F. I put in my pittance, so to speak. Actually, I am, well, relatively smart. It's just that I just couldn't get with the program. I'm doing business. These guys are telling me go to geology class, go write me some essays on some BS stuff. I'm just like, are you kidding me here? Go down here to the psych class, go over here to the sociology class. I'm just like, okay. I said the sociology class, psychology class, I kind of like those. But this rest of this nonsense that I'll never be using, and I got to do this for 2 years, you guys are killing me. So anyhow, I get like 63 whatever credits in 6 months. So now I'm back on track because basically I have a 4.0. Go figure, right? I'm handling business. I'm a man about to handle. So now I go to my other small school, Sonoma State, because it's not a big school. It's a small school. I'm playing basketball and having some fun. But now I'm no longer undergraduate type of guy. I'm taking business classes. Business classes, ladies and gentlemen, where they're teaching me how to be an employee, a manager, an executive of a company, taking orders. This is what the management structures are. This is how things go. Yes, you can go work for Hewlett Packard. I can go work for EDS, Electronic Data Systems. I can go work for whoever, the who's who in the business world. They're teaching me all that, except one little problem that most college graduates do not even think about. When I came out, I graduated, and luckily for me, they had an asterisk next to my name. I didn't even know why. We're going through our commencement, and they said the president standing up there as me and my boys are popping champagne and talking mess. And all of a sudden, my friend goes next to me and goes, Eric, you have an asterisk next to your name. What does it mean? I said, I don't know what it means. I said, maybe it means I don't get my diploma or something. Who knows, man? It doesn't matter. I already have my own business anyhow. But the point of the matter is, he says, I see my mom crying. Next thing I know, they say, stand up. These guys did exemplary work or whatever they said in the school. Come to find out, in my business management class, I was damn near a 4.0 in my upper graduate studies because we were handling business, right? So I go to interviews. I see at the interviews, these jobs are the equivalent of getting paid about $150K a year in today's money. So I have an interview time. I come in and I see not 1, not 5, not 10, not 15. There's literally 20 to 30 people getting interviewed. This isn't at a new startup. This isn't at a place that has even 30, 40, 50 jobs available. There's only like 2 jobs available. And so then I'm thinking to myself as I'm walking out, and I'll give you guys, some of you guys know the story. I'm walking out of EDS, and there's a reason I'm walking out of EDS, but there's like 30 people lined up to come in after me. Now, they offered me a job, so that one of the jobs would have been taken if I would have accepted. But as I'm walking out and seeing like 30 people lined up with their resumes and dressed up in their nice suits and ties and all this, it just dawned on me. Wait a minute. I forgot. I graduated from my school. These people went to another school, and all 30 people probably all went to 25 different schools. So, how many people graduated the same year I graduated in college? Then I started realizing, wait a minute, that's millions of people around the country, not just around the world. In the United States, millions of people just graduated in this summer, but millions graduated in spring, millions graduated the previous year. All these people are looking for the same less than millions of jobs available. That's when the nightmare started with me traditionally, because I realized at that point, I was like, wait a minute, there's not enough high paying jobs for all these people that are spending all this money to go to college and become employees. Right then and there, that's when the trigger in my head even pushed me even more, even though I was always a business guy and did business on my own. Then I was just like, well, if I have a job, okay, cool, but I already know how to do my business and make things happen. So that's why this is a nightmare and an American dream, because you have a way to actually be better than how you came into this world, but you also have a whole bunch of pitfalls, and it's not an easy road, because at any time your employer could replace you simply because they don't like you, simply because their best buddy just got hired and they want him to take your place so he can get paid more. Simply because a lot of different things, nepotism, a whole bunch of things I have seen. And yes, I did work for a few years in a lot of places, and not a lot, but a few places. It was always interesting how people got receive raises, or how they got hired, and how they got promoted. And the funny thing is, when I worked at one of my places, which was Delta Dental, people were getting a new job, a higher job, because they would say things like, well, I got turned down from a job for being promoted because they said, well, this person's been here like 12 years. I'm like, okay, what does that got to do with anything? And they're like, that's the thing. I'm like, but they can't even carry my jock. What are you talking about? They don't even know what they're doing. You guys call me up to do stuff. You don't call them up. Clearly you wouldn't, but you're going to make them the boss because they've been here 12 years. I'm like, okay, if you guys want to play that game, that's fine. I don't have to play. I'm just here trying to actually say I'm 20 something and have a job and a resume. But if you want to keep playing this game, clearly I can't be the company man anymore. Again, the nightmare rears its ugly head. I'm just like, I'm better than them on all metrics. And I've only been here like 1.5 years, 2 years, whatever it was. And that's your metric. And I went to college, which was one of the things. They didn't either. So apparently the job offer wasn't even really the correct, or was the real job offer, because I was like, okay, they've been there 12 years, but they didn't go to school. Oh, but we're going to still hire them for that position. I was like, oh, okay. So again, the American nightmare is here all times. You're trying to get ahead. You're trying to do better. And you're one of the best people in the workplace. Now, if you're a slacker, you ain't got nothing to say. I got no love for that. If you're a slacker at work, coming in late, being late every other week, every other day, you're missing work, saying I'm sick, don't have sick days, running out of vacation days, and doing all this crazy, then don't even talk to me about you didn't get a raise or get a job and get promoted and all that. That's going to be your nightmare you're going to have to deal with. But if you're showing up on time, doing what you're supposed to do, considered one of the best, because whenever they need some additional help or additional persons, they call, well, you. Then that indicates that they trust you to do the right thing, or you might just be a yes man. Who knows? But all I'm saying is there are inherent things that make it an American nightmare. So we will see. And like Victor Marrero saying, When he says this, everyone wants to get in your pocket in this country. This is one of the things that Victor Marrero has a unique experience like myself. We didn't both grow up here in America, even though we're under American rule when we live in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is they don't call it a different state, but to me, it's a different country. It's a different state as far as I'm concerned. We're United States citizens. I wasn't born in Puerto Rico. I lived there though, and there was an inherent difference. People in Puerto Rico were Puerto Ricans. They weren't like you. They didn't consider themselves like U.S. citizens, right? That was like a bad word when we were sitting around and they're like, yeah, man, you U.S. Hold on now. No, we Puerto Rican. And that's one of the things that changes everything. Because when you come back to America and it's all separation, whereas when I'm in Puerto Rico, the color thing, that was minimal. Everybody, black, the blackest, the whitest, and in between, we're all Puerto Rican. We didn't have this nonsense when I come back to America and hang out. So in America, we have this thing about this 51st state that they won't make a state. And that right there is another American nightmare for some people because they won't even honor. If I was born in Puerto Rico, you have potential for them not to even honor your birth certificate and mess with you that way. You want to have an American dream, but they're going to mess with you saying, oh, no, we can't count on your birth certificate, your transcripts from your school being legitimate. I'm like, wait, isn't this part of the United States? What are you talking about? They're like, hold on now. You're an American Matrix nightmare here. You just didn't know it. We wanted you to believe that it's all good. It's not all good here in America, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to tell you one other thing. If you start living around the world, there are places that are worse, a whole lot worse than living in America. And there's a few places that are better. But there's one thing that America has that most countries don't, and that is you always have an upside. So you always have the American dream right at your little hands, right here in your face. Are you going to take advantage of it? And the only way you can take advantage of the American dream is you got to have money. And you better have it coming in. Look who else is in the house tonight. Wilson Koo is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. He has the icon next to his name, and he brings his tagline with him this evening, ladies and gentlemen. He says, good evening, Mr. Bird and SSN family. 100% facts. That's it. And he also put in, he sells money. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right. He sells money. What do you think he means? You want your American dream? Well, one way is to make investments and buy assets so you get a return on your money. So you have two ways to get return on your money. You can give it to the stock guys. You can give it to a Robinhood or Webull. Get your free stocks down below from Robinhood and Webull and buy yours free. Get free shares of stock, and then you can buy shares of stock. But at this point, you should be getting dividend shares, dividend stocks, because they are at their lowest point. So your return on your investment is going to be higher. Once stocks start increasing in price, the yield comes down because you have to buy at the higher price because the dividend amount usually stays the same. So that just gives you an idea. But the point is, you're going to have to do something out here. He sells money. You know what that means? You want to invest in something? He might have an investment program for you. You want to buy real estate? You want to buy multifamily properties? You want to go and rehab something? You never know what he has because he sells money. He gives loans. You want to buy a business? May be able to help you with that. You have acreage and you want to figure out what to do with that acreage? Well, he has investors that may need land to do some business and they'll give you some royalties or some residual money of some sort. Who knows? But these are the options that a lot of people in America don't realize that exist. The American dream is alive and well. But you're not going to know about these opportunities unless you find out from a friend, family, relative, or you're here in the SSN Nation. That's one of the ways, and that's why you have to share these videos. because you never know who's looking around. There might be somebody right now when in about a year from now, when the IMF, when the central banks from all the countries start reducing the interest rates, that means loans are going to start getting looser. They're going to bring back the thing. You're going to be looking for rehab properties. That's what you're going to be looking for. You're going to be looking for that multifamily rehab property, except one problem. What are you going to do when it's $1 million? And they say we want $250,000 down, and you're like, damn, it's 250. I don't have that, and it's going to cost me 150 to rehab this, and then we're going to start making some money after we're able to rent it out. Multifamily, I'm referring to. Well, prior to this Federal Reserve increase in interest rates, you could see Mr. Wilson Koo, and he'd say, hey, we can give you the 400,000. After rehab value, you're telling us it's like $1 million. We'll give you the 400. And this is our terms. But how many people would know this? Most people would just walk off. They'll be like, oh, we can't do this. We don't know anybody that's going to give us this money. We don't know where we're going to get the money for the rehab. This is a no-go zone. So what happens? The ordinary citizen, the OC, you, me, you just walk off. And meanwhile, some wealthy individual or a person that's in the know who did watch the SSN Nation live streams and watch some of the videos, and they were like, oh, wait a minute, that Wilson Koo guy, he can help us out. Okay. Of course, I promoted Mr. Wilson Koo, so you can go check him out at quickeasyfunds.com. That's QUIK. E as in Eric, Z as in Zebra, funds.com for everybody on podcast. QUIKE as in Eric, Z as in Zebra, funds, FUNDS.com. Go check them out. And if that doesn't help you out, then send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. Also, there was people here that had acreage. And at one time, there was business people that he's involved with that said, hey, if you have some acreage, we might be able to do some business on your acreage or help you out one way or another, and you could have money coming in. Passive income, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you want. Royalties, residuals, whatever you can get, right? Financial freedom conversation tonight. Let me know what you guys think. And if you can't get in the chat room, there's a reason. Because you have to be a member of the channel. You might see in the chat room on your phone that there's a $sign. Well, that means that's where you tap on, and that's how you become a member of the channel. Subscribers, I'd appreciate you subscribe and click the all notification bell. But on Wednesday night, part of the perks is only members with the icon can be in the chat room for the discussions. And look who's talking here. Wilson Koo saying evening, Victor M. Laverne P. showing the love. And then the love back. Laverne Penix, also known as Mr. Cool in these parts, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings, Mr. Cool. Showing some love as well. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. And Mr. Financial is here with the icon next to his name. And he brings up one of his taglines. Good evening, SSN family. Good evening to you too, Curtis Davis. And also, he left off the second part. Always be making money. If you want financial freedom, think like a shark. Think like a millionaire. And I mean a Shark Tank billionaire or millionaire. Think like them. Why are they on a show where they're trying to buy other businesses that already exist? Because it's easier to buy something that's already existing and tweak it than it is to start from scratch with an unknown quantity. So this is why if you're looking for a business, your first questions start like, okay, what's your product? Who are you marketing this to? But ultimately, within the first three questions, it starts like, how much money did you guys make and profit on for this past year if I'm going to invest in your company? Because if you're going to invest in a company, I need to know I'm going to get paid back, right? So Mr. Financial knows all about this, and he helps people out on his channel, which is called Chilly Davis, CHILLY Davis. Go show some love. He's part of the SSN Nation fam. Go subscribe to his channel. He drops gems all the time, helping people with stock market information, financial news and information on his Chilly Davis channel. And you never know when he's going to drop those gems. So please go over there and check him out again. Chilly Davis here on YouTube Streets. He's throwing it down, trying to help people. All right, Vanessa Comagate, another one. She's in the house tonight. The Seamless Genius is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday live stream. And she has the icon next to her name as well. And she comes in with her tagline. Hey, Boston SSN fam. Just checking in, fam. Thank you so much, Vanessa Comagate. Very, very nice to see you once again. I appreciate it. And you're going to have to give us an update on the first month. Well, maybe it's too soon, but the first month of that Seamless Genius plan, the Airbnb of malls. I hope it's going great for the month of January, because this is a game changer, I have to admit. Vanessa, welcome back from Curtis Davis. Curtis Davis, thanks, Chilly D. Here we go. Victor Marrero, major companies do realignments and reduction in force. They don't have to explain any details to you exactly. Most of the time, you won't get a heads up. Exactly. They'll escort you out just like that. Exactly. Victor Marrero is giving you guys the whole rundown. So some of you are going to school right now. Some of you are superstars and you're working for the likes of Goldman Sachs, the big financial companies, the companies that are in technology. You're sitting there busting your ass for 5 years, 10 years, even though they had beds like Elon's Twitter have beds in the rooms, which is against the law. Okay, so when you're out here in real estate and your real estate is zoned commercial and your real estate is zoned residential, you can't have commercial property that's zoned for commercial business offices and turning it into a hotel. You can't have sofa sleepers, king and queen side beds in your offices so people can sleep there and stay overnight. That is against the law. All right. I'm just saying. That's wild. I'm just saying. So the point that Victor Marrero is bringing up is exactly what's happening right now in America. So people woke up. They found out they're getting laid off from Amex, from Facebook, from Amazon. And you know what happens when they go in the office that day and getting laid off? All of a sudden, they put their card in the slider, and all of a sudden in the card reader, and all of a sudden it goes beep. They're like, "What's going on?" Oh, you got to go over to HR. Go see your boss, whichever way they go. You go up and see your boss. He says, "Oh yeah, I got to come. I need to talk to you. Come on in here." Next thing you know, you got 2 security dudes that just showed up at the outside of the door. And he says, "You're fired." You're like, "What? What do you mean? I'm one of the best workers here. What do you mean I'm fired? No notice, no nothing?" Exactly. And then they're going to escort you out. Give us your keypads. Give us your stuff. You can't take anything from the office. And then you say, "Well, I got some stuff on my own at the desk." Okay, here's a box. They're going to escort you to your desk, and then they're escorting you out of here. He's exactly right. And they don't have to explain anything. You do understand when you work in a right for work state and you're not in a union, you're working against yourself, so to speak. You are always at the will of the employer, who gets no repercussions for firing you. If you're in a right to work state, Texas, Florida, most southern states are right to work. In fact, it sounds so nice, right to work. You ain't got no right to work. Those are the states that have the laws that your employer, you can walk in no matter how many years you work there, and they could literally just say, "You're fired." You're not going to, you can bring a lawsuit if you want to, but in a right to work state, that's DOA on arrival. You can pay the attorneys, but you're going to lose more than likely. Sure, there's some winners for wrongful termination, but in those states, you're not protected. And if you're not in the union, you're not protected even more. So when somebody says, "Don't be in a union, we want to help you out," again, you're about to be an American nightmare tragedy, because you're not protecting yourself. Yes, I know unions. You got to pay a little bit of money. I know 35, 55, whatever the case may be now per month. for your dues. But with that comes generally semi-annual or annual pay raises. With that normally comes some sort of health benefits. With that comes some sort of vacation and sick leave. With that sometimes comes with, if you have a child you have leave for that. So being in the union and being organized is pretty significant. So what do you want to do? What does the president do? Well, okay, I won't get into presidents. I won't get into political situations. But all I'm trying to say is there's some people that don't want you to be forming unions. It's not in the best interest of corporations, because then, yes, they can fire you, but generally under a union structure, they have to talk to somebody in the union and say, this is what we're doing. Then they have to go through certain laws and certain hoops. So the idea that you can just walk in and fire somebody, well, that's just an idea, because that ain't going to happen. So see, when people are telling you don't form a union, don't do all this, that, and the other, there's a reason that the employer is doing that, because they know what the ramifications are if there's a unionization. This is why Amazon has been up against it from day one, and most tech companies are trying to always block unions. So just keep that in mind. That's how your American nightmare ends. Just like Victor Morrell says, no heads up, no worries about if you're going to make ends meet, because you're already probably living month to month, week to week, paycheck to paycheck. They're not giving you heads up. So the nightmare begins. So again, we're talking about financial freedom conversation. We get freedom papers here. I haven't mentioned freedom papers right now. I've been talking for almost 35 minutes, 40 minutes. So please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you like what I'm talking about. But we got to come up with solutions here, right? The only solution in America, which I never understood, is financial. There is no other solution. So you can tell me, oh, these people are going to be good people. Okay, fair enough. People can be good people. But 9 times out of 10, when it comes to money, there's way too many bad people. So if I have to work and somebody's going to underpay me and I got to live paycheck to paycheck, well, guess what they're doing? As I'm living paycheck to paycheck, the person that I work for, the company I work for, they're living high on the hog. That's their passive income. I'm their passive income when I work for them. They get to come and go as they please. I cannot. That's my sign up that I agreed to. That's my contract. I agreed to work 40 hours a week, 5 days a week, and 7 days vacation a year, or whatever the case may be. I agreed. But after you keep doing this month after month, year after year, and you're sitting there going, wait, I only get paid like, what, 5% more than I did 2 years ago? That's not going to work. The American nightmare once again, but everybody's settling for less. All right. Stock market real or pump fake? It's a pump fake. You know how I feel. I'm not backing away. I don't really care that the stock market went up like 5 to 10%, because this is just what happened in 1929 to 1931. The fundamentals have not changed. They are still doing quantitative easing, giving these guys loans so they can buy their shares of stock up to increase the value. They're still giving them loans so they can go out here and go buy up other assets. That means they're devaluing the currency. Nothing has changed, even though they said, oh, we're going to increase the interest rates and we're going to start quantitative easing. Stop quantitative easing. That was over a year ago. Well, it was about a year ago. They're still printing money. No change. And guess what else? Nobody wants United States debt. Nobody wants to buy bonds outside of the country. People are like, hell no, we're not going to hold that paper. Where's the gold and silver at? That's what we're buying right now. You can forget the rest of this stuff, because you guys are out here doing stupid stuff financially. And that hurts the American citizen and turns it into a nightmare, ladies and gentlemen. So I believe it's a fake pump. All right. Just want to provide an update with Wealthfront online savings accounts. Starting this Friday, their APY goes from 3.8 to 4%. A lot better than other major banks. This is your safe money. Yes, Wealthfront in case you don't know who that is, thank you for bringing that up. Down below in the description, all you have to do is go show more button, and it opens up a box down below this video if you're on YouTube. And you'll see down there free stocks from Robinhood, free stocks from Webull, and then you'll see Wealthfront. Wealthfront is a company that if you put in $500, they manage your money for free up to the value of $5,000. So anywhere between $500 and $4,999, they manage your money at no additional cost. And as Victor Morrell said, in a few days, it's going to be 4% return annually on your money. Now, this is not beating inflation, but it's better than zero. If inflation ever was able to come down to 4%, at least you're breaking even with that portion of money that's in Wealthfront. And Wealthfront also, like I said, is like an ETF. They manage your money, mutual fund kind of. So again, there'll be return on your investment for putting your money in Wealthfront. So you have a couple of ways you can go. But use the link down below. It's down there, Wealthfront. So that's another option for you. That's a nice APY. James Way's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to the name. And he says his tagline, he's right, the rent is too damn high. Good evening, all. Good evening to you, James Way. Thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you being here tonight. Now, James Way from Curtis Davis. The ladies had a decent sales month for January. They signed for January through March. So far, so good. Oh, my. The evil genius is, I call her the evil genius too. The seamless genius is in the house telling us she has a 3-month contract. And what you guys don't understand is she has a kiosk in a mall. She's doing it Airbnb style. She's renting the kiosk to 2 other businesses. It's netting her $1,000 while she sits at home and goes on vacation, chills out, and it's netting her $1,000 per month. So she's doing a test phase right now. She did before Christmas. And of course, before Christmas, it went very well because that's holiday season. So you know everybody's hyped. So then the question became, what happens between January through March? So if January through March can work at this particular location, then that only means that maybe she says, I'm going to go with kiosk number 2 or kiosk number 3. And instead of 1,000, then it's 2,000 and then it's 3,000 while I'm sitting at home on the couch eating bonbons. But in the case of Vanessa Comegate, she's not going to use her free time to sit on the couch eating bonbons. She's going to be out there saying, well, let me go find another place to go get some more streams of revenue coming in the house. That's what she does. She's an entrepreneur. She's out here handling, slaying dragons, ladies and gentlemen. In the real world is what I call it, because you know when you have to be out here and out of the safe zone, meaning here's a semi-safe zone. I know I'm going to get paid $2,000 per week by going to this job for 40 to 50 hours per week. Or I go over here knowing that I could be at 0 per week and I can work my way into 50,000 a week or 5,000 a week. So which way are you going to go? That's the question that you need to ask, right? And that's what separates the top 10 percenters from everybody else, because the top 10 percenters, they usually run businesses. That's why you should have your own business or buy a business, because the majority of people who are wealthy beyond wildest dreams, they own businesses. They don't own homes. All right. They don't own liabilities. They own businesses. And many of them, not just one, not just 2, but several businesses. And then they do the unthinkable. Something easy. They go IPOs, and now they have stocks, and now they have thousands, if not millions of shares of stock. And then when their stock price goes to $20 and they have millions of these shares, well, now their value that they are worth is based on their stock price, like the Elon Musk of the world, the Charlie Mungers of the world. And in case you don't know who that is, that's the sidekick for Warren Buffett. And I shouldn't even say sidekick because they're literally the same. So partners. So that changes the whole game. You could do this exact same thing. So we give you several options here in the SSN Nation. You want financial freedom papers? You got to earn it. You can't just sit out here and go, yeah, I'll just hide on somebody's coattails. It's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. It depends on how long you want to do this. All right. That's good to hear, by the way, Vanessa Kamagate, that it's going so far so good, because this is going to be awesome. Because if they're able to, if January through March works, and that means March through springtime is going to work as well. Vanessa Kamagate, congrats from Curtis Davis. Victor Morrell, that's exactly how it works, especially if you're working for a financial institution. They will turn off your access to key systems even before you come in. It's all pre-coordinated behind your back. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Anywhere where there's any key cards, anywhere where there's badges, and like he says, it has to do with financials more than likely. Like I said, at Delta Dental is the same thing. It's a financial institution where they not financial institution, but they process dental records and they do the fees. It's money. So that's what happens. People stand up, card, badges, all kinds. It's crazy. It's crazy out here. And that's exactly right. I'm ready to grow. I only hope I can duplicate it. Yes. If you can duplicate it, that's the whole key. If you can look, it's all 10 of them is 10 G's a month profit with minimal work. And that's 120K a year, right? So I'm just saying, or some might do more than 1K. They might do 1,500 or something profits. But I love how it starts. And this is a valuable lesson for everybody. When you're starting out in business, everybody is thinking visions of grandeur, that you got to explode, that you got to grow fast. You don't have to. You can take your time. Sometimes it takes baby steps, and then you get to hit your stride and start jogging. Then you start to get to run. Then you get to do full speed. You can't generally start a business and be at full speed, because everything is different. Just because my brother, my dad, my uncle, my friend, my classmate runs a business and I work with them in their business, you can't duplicate that. It's not going to be duplicated. So everything they're doing in their business, when you go do yours, you have different people you're interacting with. You have different relationships. So therefore, your business can't run the same way. It's not going to be as smooth because it took them a while. You didn't know them when they first started out at the business, right? You weren't there. You just now see after 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 8 years, things are running smoothly. So you're thinking, oh, anybody can do this. That's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. So the story is, you have to put in work. You have to study. If you want your financial freedom papers, there is no way around saying this. It's not easy. It's not for the faint at heart. But what's also not at the faint of heart is watching your buying power evaporate every week as you go buy whatever you buy, gas, groceries, looking to buy a home, and you're sitting there looking at the pricing and going, I could have sworn this was less just like a few days ago. If you think you're going to be safe in the American dream by prices increasing, then I got a bridge to sell you in all kind of desert areas. Because this isn't how America works. All right? I make damn near 3 times as much as my dad ever made. But guess what? Over a 30-year span, I have to make 227% more than he did just to break even. And in case you're not understanding what I'm saying, if somebody makes $60,000 a year 30 years ago, the equivalent buying power is 2.27. 227. So I have to make literally 150, 160,000 just to buy what he could buy. Do you understand? This is significant. And this is why your great grandkids and anybody who gets older has a problem later, because you have to make 200% more than 25 to 30 years ago. Are you going to be able to sustain that? Are you make $200,000 a year or $150,000 a year? Are you seriously thinking that you're going to be making $500,000 a year 30 years later? Seriously. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Financial freedom conversation. This is why you have to get your money in the door on something now than later. This is why you need to buy an investment. What are those investments? It's up to you. Businesses are an investment. Real estate's an investment. Stocks are an investment. Dividend investing is an investment. Those are the easy ones. Investing in yourself to create something that's going to give you a return, that's 9 out of 10 failure. And that's not for the faint at heart, nor is it safe. So again, can you find some vehicle that can give you a return on investment with low risk? And that's very hard. Anything you're going to invest in, it's a risk factor. No way around it. All right. Let's go. Evening, Curtis D, Vanessa K from Wilson Koo, Victor M, truth be told, exactly. Hey, Koo man from Vanessa Comagate. Vanessa Comagate, honestly, this is the easiest money I've ever made. I want to invest this extra 1K. There you go. I know it's the easiest, but the thing is, can it be sustainable over time? But as I was saying, Vanessa Comagate, when you start a business, you want financial freedom. She didn't just go, okay, give me 5 kiosks. Give me 3 kiosks. She didn't go to 2 or 3 different malls and go, hey, give me a kiosk in each mall. She said, let me test this out. Hold on here. Let me see if this is actually a viable situation before I wrap myself up in a bad situation. She's sitting there saying, let's find out. We'll take 3-6 months. She's going to take 6 months right now to find out if this is going to work in high time when there's, holiday time, and if it's going to work after holiday time when people have spent the majority of their money, a lot of disposable income, and are they still going to have people coming in? Well, she's in the health and the beauty industry. So beauty is sold throughout the year, but are the people going to be at the kiosk all throughout the year where she can maintain her profit? So that's the big kicker question. But she's doing the testing. Just like if you start a business, that's what you should do too. You should start out slowly. So do a little testing before you spend a lot of capital. All right. That's how you got to do it. Vanessa Comagate, congrats for taking bold step. That's how you do it. Exactly, Victor Morel. Thank you for mentioning that. Thanks for that. Congratulations thanks, Victor. I'm loving it. Exactly. I'm trying to buy property, but so far, no deals. Maybe the DR. Vanessa Comagate, you know where the deal is. You've just been in denial. You're sitting there going, oh, I just don't know. I just don't know. Hey, you know what? Here's the interesting thing. The woman has done business in all kinds of places, even at Disney, even on the Shark Tank. She's one of the contestants, actually, all the way to the Shark Tank. So she's done business for a long time. But real estate, I don't know what her real estate status is, but with real estate, even though we've been here, she'll start a business, no problem. But a real estate in the Dominican Republic, which no credit check, no qualifying, but you do have to put down 10% and then make a monthly payment. She has not made a decision on that at all. But the Seamless Genius has an easy time talking to a mall, getting a kiosk, setting up an Airbnb type business with their kiosk, no problem. You see what I'm saying? Everything isn't for everybody. That's the moral to that part of the story. She's in comfort land, talking to Disney, talking to malls. She's like, no problem, which in essence, a kiosk is real estate. It's real estate inside the mall. And when you're on Disney property, that's real estate too. When you're on store shelves, that's real estate. But when it comes to no credit check, no qualifying, and getting a property in the DR and possibly renting it out to have that passive income coming in, that's a different animal because it's real estate and it takes different ways to make the money come to you. You have to do it different ways. So again, we still have time, Vanessa Comegate. We still have Lara Mar, 1 bedrooms for $90K, 2 bedrooms for 118. Well, we'll call it 120K. Ocean View, still have them. Also, Cruise on Land, still under 100,000 for a fully furnished studio unit. Fully furnished 2-bedroom penthouse. It's 161. But if they're not furnished, take off about 20 G's. So, so there's still opportunities. Aurora Luxury, 167, 2-bedroom, fully furnished. Downtown Punta Cana, still stuff in Vista Cana, like at Vista Verde, Urba Cana. They even have amenities and inside Vista Cana, and 2 bedrooms are around 125, I believe. So there's plenty of things to go down. All right. This was actually an accident. I decided to keep the cart. Yes, but you knew what to do with that accident. That's the funny part. And it's funny how it turned out because we were talking about the fingernails to go. And then all the excitement I had for fingernails to go quickly faded because they changed the game on us. We thought we had something like $10,000 to $15,000, that we had this one machine that was going to be standing in malls, and it was going to be simple and easy to do some marketing, and it's in the mall where people would come in the mall and it's purely passive almost. And then all of a sudden they changed up on us and said, oh no, there's not just one machine, there's 2 that needs to sit side by side, and instead of it 10 to 15,000, it's going to cost you 30,000. That's a big difference from 10 to 15. So now it's 30,000. Then it's, oh, by the way, you need to get something in a mall, and now you're going to have to pay in advance. So that's another 10 or 12 or whatever. All of a sudden it changed the whole game. And I'm like, wait, you're going to put up all this money and we don't even know or get to pick where we want to be? We got issues. So anyhow, that's how it all started off. And then the Seamless Genius came up with the most brilliant plan of all, because she was going to do the kiosk because they have a countertop unit for fingernails to go. And then it blossomed into another offshoot of her original plan. And now here we are. And she already has a beauty LLC, so it went hand in hand. So it's all going down, ladies and gentlemen. Facts, boss. I know how it goes. I think my fears, because it's in a different country, help me, my brothers. Hey, Vanessa, come again. I'm just going to tell you something. Here, I'm just going to give you an analogy. You think it's a separate country, right? Think of Dominican Republic as another state. So what you can do in California, you maybe can't do in Arizona. What you can do in California and Arizona, you probably can't do in Louisiana. Same thing, except guess what? The DR, when it comes to real estate, is deeded just like in America. So it's no more, no less than just buying property in where you were going to buy in Florida. Just go over about 1,000 miles. Instead of Florida, you're buying it in the DR. The same thing you were going to do in Florida. Rent it out, have a management company or somebody watch your property. Same thing you do in the DR. It's that simple. It's not really any different. You're still going to have somebody manage it one way or another, or unless you're, really going to get crazy and do the old electronic, because, you can have you can be sitting at your house, electronic lock and code, so somebody can check in And then you have somebody that you can call up and have a code so they can clean up. You can do that. But there may be a person that's Gwen who's doing 20% management. I can almost live with 20% management. It's just that once I get up to 30, 35%, I need something high end for that. I need a little bit more profits coming in. But nonetheless, there's always a way to do it, as you know. It's not that hard. Here we go. Interest rates went up again today by a quarter. Payments for simple home or apartments are becoming unaffordable. Victor Morrell is exactly right. In fact, unaffordable entirely. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have to understand what you're dealing with. The American dream is it's an American nightmare, and it's happening under our watch. It's already been in stone for 30 years. I just have to say it's political fodder. When a man comes into office and starts telling us we're going to deregulate something, we're going to start doing tax cuts, tax breaks. That's not the man from the last 4 years. This is the man from 1980s. His name was Reagan. That was an assault on the middle class from that time on. Trickle-down theory meant we give tax cuts and tax breaks to the wealthy. They're going to go out here and spend extra money and hire more people and give people raises, and therefore the money will trickle down. 8 years of trickle-down economics, union busting, everything you can do to wipe out people and their workforce, in the workforce getting paid appropriately. Everything you can do to protect the working man, protect people from water and damaged goods and financial institutions stealing your money. These guys deregulated everything that they can get their hands on to allow the rich to be able to manipulate our system and get richer. That's when it all started. It just didn't start in the last 5 years, didn't start in the last 10, didn't start in the last 20. It started damn near 40 years ago. Here's the rewards from all of that. Deregulation, which everybody's like, hurrah, hurrah. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Deregulation let the fox in the hen house. Savings and loan debacle. Banks failures in the early 2000s. All of that is because of the deregulation and the climate, and everybody's sitting out here going, rah, rah, shish bob. These guys are my heroes. You deserve everything you got, because that should have been a warning sign the whole time. You were here in 2007-8, Ben Bernanke's downtown New York, talking with the Federal Reserve, talking with the presidents, giving the wine story, after they're the ones that had the tax cuts and tax breaks from 2000 from Bush, after they had deregulation also by the previous President Clinton. Don't let him escape. People say, yeah, the economy was great. I'm like, yeah, the economy was great because you deregulated the freaking financial systems. You helped the other guys to continue this nonsense. So the deregulation in the housing industry, allowing people to give people loans as long as they could breathe and blow, give people loans for nothing, clearly that blew up. That wasn't in Bush. That's under Bush's watch too, but it all started under Clinton. He started deregulating what you could do with the loans. Why? Because he wanted to make it look like the economy's good. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. You've had history lessons. You can study history lessons from the financial institution. The good thing is there's YouTube. You can see actual videos from when Bernanke, when Clinton, when Reagan, and all these guys are talking about what's going to be good for your ass. And here you are living paycheck to paycheck and watching inflation go through the roof, and you're sitting here blaming the guys that just showed up in the last 6-7 years. I can blame them guys too, because it's not like they sat there and said, hey, let's stop doing stuff. But the fact of the matter is, it already started well before, ladies and gentlemen, and you keep voting for these clowns. And we have a two-party system. So you have to vote for one side or the other. It's not like we have an alternative person who's a knight in shining armor that's going to be sitting here saying, hey, let's slow this all down. Let's get the working class in here. Let's get the people back to work. Let's get these guys paying taxes up here that's earning billions of dollars. So again, this all goes down to what Victor Marrero's saying. I don't know where many people live, but I've looked around. It seems in a lot of states, it's costing damn near $2,000 for a simple apartment. An apartment. Whether it's 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms, $2,000. That's $72,000 a year that you have to make to qualify. Most average Americans make $40,000. That means 2 people in the household does have to work and will qualify. If one of those people do not keep their job, we have the American nightmare starting. So if this doesn't get you to get your own business started, get some extra streams of revenue in here, then I just can only say I feel saddened, because we're giving you the tools here in the SSN Nation to make sure that you're not going to be the casualties of this financial war. Because I'm telling you, if you guys think the rise of the stock market from 2010 to 2021 was something, what do you think they're going to do after they avert this next one? When they start bringing down the interest rates and they start printing up more money than they ever have before. 50% of all money printed was done in the last 7 years. 50% of the money supply was printed up in the last 7 years. Never mind the printing of the money supply before then. So what I'm trying to get you to understand is, let's just say I printed $1 million in 1990. Let's say then I printed up $2 million in 2000. So we printed 3 million. Let's just say between 2020 and 2015, I printed up another 10 million. That is $14 million that I printed up, let's say. Then all of a sudden in the last 7 years, I didn't just print up 50% of 1 million. I printed up 50% of 14 million, which means another $7 million. You don't think there's going to be inflation that's going to be off the charts? There you go, ladies and gentlemen, our financial freedom conversation. Now you understand why you're going to be buried. Because guess what? Since you're already broke as an American country, guess what has to come out in order to do anything else? A credit card, which means there's going to be trillions more dollars that they're going to be borrowing from somewhere. Your tax money, you're paying for it. That means they're going to be borrowing more. Are they going to do another 20, 30, 40% of printing of money over the next 5 years? You betcha. Because that's what stimulates the economy. And oh, by the way, anybody have any dollar bills on them? I got some change. I got some dollar bills. I got some dollar bills. Let me see what they say. Let me see here. Hold on. Let's see. We got a little $5 bill here. See what it look at here. I can't see here. See, this is the old one. See this stuff up here? Federal Reserve note. You guys know what a mortgage note is? You know what a promissory note is? I'm pretty sure we have some people here that's pretty smart. You see this again? Federal Reserve note. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, this is a debt note. These are debt notes. All right. So the more of these they print, the worse it gets for you. Now, if you're wealthy, the better it gets for you, because you get to accumulate more debt notes. And your debt notes mean different things because you're able to buy assets that pay you. So that's why here we flip the script. So ordinary citizens, get your assets. That's why I've talked about assets, because that's the only way you can truly be free. Vanessa Comegate, you need to go there. Your fear will disappear. There's thousands of Americans on the island. Keep in mind, it's just a little over 2 hours flight from Miami. Exactly, Victor Morel. Let her get a little more comfortable. Thanks, guys. I consider Mexico, but they are more complicated. Yes, Vanessa Comegate. I was trying to tell you when you mentioned Tulum before. I told you they have rules. If you're within a, what is it? I can't remember if it's kilometers or miles, but let's just say 25 miles of the water, of the ocean or water, then you have to have a Mexican stand-in also on title. But if you're inside, then you're good. But who wants to be inside? You want to be by the water. Come on. So all I'm saying is, yeah, Mexico, that's why I don't discuss well, first of all, there's several reasons I don't discuss Mexico. One is because it's not deeded. The DR is deeded like in America. So it's a straight one-to-one relation. Second off, Airbnb approved. Already in the writings. I like that too. That's in the DR. Unlike in America, people have condos, people have homes. Your home is not approved for Airbnb. You're in a residential zone, not approved. So again, we don't have this issue in the DR. The DR is more like the Punta Cana region is being built just like in America. They're building it for Canadians, Americans, Europeans. So they're building the roads and trying to build the infrastructure on the western or eastern part of the DR in the Punta Cana region, that corridor, Santo Domingo, La Romana, Punta Cana. They're building the infrastructure for where Americans and like I just stated, citizens from these countries feel comfortable. So that's what they're doing. So you literally have nothing to worry about. You don't have to speak Spanish even. A lot of people now speak English. So it's not that bad. And furthermore, we have the phone era. Your phone can translate Spanish to English. There's an app. So even if you can't even talk, you don't even have to learn anymore, because you can talk into your phone and it'll relay the message in their language. So it's definitely not complicated. Victor is right. I need to take a trip, period. Yes, Vanessa Comegate, you should take a trip. Yes, Mexico is a little more complicated. They have got something like a trust or something like that. Exactly. That's exactly right, Victor Marrero. It's a trust that you have to give up. Yes, Victor, through a bank trust. Yep. And they get both of you own it. And not that there's a bad thing with that. I'm just like, just give me a deed. If you don't give me a deed, I can't own stuff here. I'll lease stuff. The price in Mexico have skyrocketed, though. Exactly, Vanessa Comegate, because they in the Cancun Peninsula, they're doing the same thing. They're doing the Tulum, the Merida, and other countries, and they built that infrastructure where they're having that train go around to all points on the peninsula now. So that connects everybody on the whole peninsula, north, south, east, and west. So everybody that's by the beach and even inland, the values have increased 3 times the number. Tulum used to be able to get something on the water for under 100K. Now you got to be 1 or 2 kilometers back to get that same deal. And you're not going to have ocean view. Things have skyrocketed. Something you could get for 100,000 is now 300,000. And this is what's going to happen in the Dominican Republic. The only reason it hasn't happened in Dominican Republic because it's not Cancun Peninsula. That's why. If it was just a peninsula like Cancun, then stuff would have already been 4 times as much in 2 years. So everybody still has time. Big money in Mexico real estate, Airbnb, that is true. That's very true. But it's also saturated markets. For everybody's going to the same location. So you're going to Cancun's, you're going to Puerto Vallarta, you're going to Mazatlan, you're going to Los Cabos, San Jose del Cabo, you're going to some other places in between outside of Arizona, I can't remember what it is. Puerto Banos, I believe. You're going to Nuevo Vallarta. You're going to, you know, those are the mainstays. So once again, you're going to be under a whole different rule down there. I remember in Los Cabos when J-Lo, the boxing guy, Oscar De La Hoya, these guys bought some nice homes in Cabo, Los Cabos area. Then all of a sudden, every celebrity decided, oh, I'm going to buy right where these guys all bought on the side of a hill. That increased the value of the property. Then they went away. So then it reduced the value of the property. And then it went on a building spree. And then slowly but surely, the prices start creeping up. But again, this is what's going to happen in the DR. So far in the DR, it's a little different. They already have designated spots for the celebrities. But now what's happening is they're building places where celebrities are going to be hanging out, like Larimar City, probably inside Vista Cana. They're going to be at Cap Cana as well, as always. They're going to be at Cocatel as well. There's a few spots, but now there's more spots that just doesn't have golf courses. And now that's going to attract some big time dollars. So wait 2 years from now, everybody's going to be a winner. Everybody's already a winner in DR and Mexico. Mr. Colfax, thank you. That's what we're doing here. Very true, Chili D. The trust owns it, but you are a beneficiary in Mexico. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. She's got it exactly right. That's exactly what it is. The trust, yeah, that's what I said. They got to be on it. They got to be owning it. And then you got to be on there too. And I'm just like, man, I don't know about this. So, but I've leased and 20-year lease. But hey, while the lease is going good, it was a cash flow city. But she explained it very well. That's exactly what it is in Mexico. And I like deeds. So dial me up, Costa Rica, Belize, something. So dial me up, Dominican Republic, dial me up, places like that. I don't want any part of any trust or anybody else holding it. Don't want to put in somebody else's name. None of that. That just leads to corruption. All right. Look here, ladies and gentlemen. We've been talking here now over an hour. Please smash the like button. If you like what we're talking about, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. One of the assets is your credit. Now, I just want to caution people now because a lot of people have over leveraged themselves. If you have done that, do not shy away from your creditor. You should call up your creditor and say, hey, do you have a payment plan so I can get back on track? Because then maybe they'll take away late fees. Maybe they'll take away any of that bad credit reporting and reinstate you as good credit after you finished your whatever payment plan or payment calculations they have. Don't run away. All right? Because they don't want to give the pay, they don't want to write it off in this environment. So again, we're talking assets here. Your credit is your asset. They won't want to write it off. Listen to me. Because in this environment, nobody's buying that paper at a high price. All right? So if they write it off, okay, they get a tax deduction, but so what? That's not really major to them. They'd rather have the money coming in. And when you have millions of customers and all of a sudden millions of customers say, hey, yeah, here's my $100 per month. All of a sudden, that's $100 million in the coffers. We didn't have to write it off. They'd rather have that. All right. So whenever there's a bad economy, things change, unlike a better economy. All right. High inflation economy tends to lead people to do crazy things. All right. Now, with that said, I started and I dropped the Smart Credit tool, the credit monitoring system. They now have 6 months free trial, which is awesome. And then the 6 months, you start paying $9.95 a month. It's awesome because the tool itself that I call it a tool because it gives you your FICO score from all three bureaus. It gives you your hiring index score, which is kind of interesting. They give you your auto FICO score. So when you're going to get an automobile, your credit score for that is separate than your normal FICO. And I'm missing one else, but I can't remember which one. But there's 4 little indexes that they have. So that helps you out. Then they have, let's say you're trying to do 120 days, improve your credit. They'll lay out a plan for you on what you need to pay based on your credit score, how much you need to pay every and certain time of the month you need to pay it. That's another thing. And any identity theft is covered up to $1 million for anybody in your household. You and anyone in your household, any identity theft, they have the insurance to cover that and help you out. So that's pretty good. Real estate is about position early, get ahead of equity, positive. Exactly, Curtis Davis. You got it exactly right. And when you're doing pre-construction in a high demand zone, Dominican Republic, Tulum, Mexico, Merida, you're going to do well. And again, I can't say enough. We have 41 people here in the SSN Nation. We have a new person, SR8 Holdings, who said he was going to buy at Cruise on Land, and we don't know if he actually bought on Cruise on Land. So he would be the 41st person in the SSN Nation to get something in the DR. And I have to say, I am ecstatic. I'm ecstatic because this is why I started the channel, to help people. And just on this alone, because of the timing, being able to get something with no credit check, no qualifying, and being able to get it at the low end of the market, and knowing full well in 2 years when the interest rates start coming down from the Federal Reserve and the IMF and the other central banks around the world, real estate prices are going to skyrocket. And everybody could get in for under $200,000 right now. And some of this stuff could be worth $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in about 4 years. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be off the charts. It's going to be beautiful to watch. And that gives people who owns more than one property, if you own one, that gives you a way out because you'll be able to borrow your equity and buy business or some other asset that gives you another return on your money. That's what you want. Okay. Oh, I like Cruise on Land. So many amenities. Vanessa Comegate, you better Cruise on Land. Let's call it what it is. Cruise on Land. And let's just call it what it is. It's hard to pass up Cruise on Land. And oh yes, I do have a video. So I'm going to actually show this in honor of Vanessa Comegate, the Seamless Genius. This is a real estate investment opportunity. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Look at all of these amenities. And they have an amphitheater. And they have a casino. And they're going to have a full-blown water park that's open to the public. I love it. And, well, I'll just have to show you what else they have. But 10% down. Okay, let's do the proper way. $2,000 to reserve. 30 to 60 days later, you have to complete your 10% down. The $2,000 is part of your 10% down. And then over the next 24 months, you're going to pay 20% or 30% of the value of the property. So if the property is $100,000, you're going to give them $2,000 to reserve and say, I want this type of unit. Then you got to come up with the additional $8,000 because you put 10% down to make it $10,000. And then over the next 2 years, if they said, I think it's, well, I can't remember, it's 30% or 20, but let's say it's 20%. That means you owe $20,000 in the next 2 years. You divide that by 24, whatever that number is, let's call it $800 a month is what you pay. No credit check, no qualifying. Now, at the end of the 24 months, they're going to have delivery. You have put down 30%. And now you have a loan to value situation. And luckily for you, you have Mr. Wilson Koo in the house. And your property will probably be double in value So therefore, 200,000, and you're going to be asking to borrow 60 grand or 70 grand, let's say. So you're going to be under 50% LTV, under 40% LTV. That means you should qualify to get a loan, because in this phase, you will need to qualify to get a loan. And then you run it on Airbnb. They already have management at Cruise on Land. So you can do set it and forget it if you like. But check out this video right here, ladies and gentlemen. Cruise on Land, one of the ones. This is the #1 resort condo project in Punta Cana, and it's tied with Larimar City. That's the other #1. There's two #1s, 1A, 1B. Take your pick. But here's number 1A or 1B. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now you understand what Vanessa Cumagate's talking about if you've never seen this video before. This place is awesome. Recording studio, amphitheater, sports complex, casino, water park, tennis courts, soccer fields, golf driving range, outdoor CrossFit training area, yoga center, seating area over water with fire pits, restaurants, 4 wedding venues, agriculture where they grow their own fruit and veggies and then have a little mini store to sell the fruit and veggies. 2 areas that have a basketball court and tennis courts. There's still like another 80 things. They have a kids' playground area. It's just crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I think that was the one that would have a recording studio. Yes, the recording studio is at Cruise on Land. It's beautiful. Yes, credit is power, mortgage FICA, credit card FICA, auto FICA, leverage lease to 0% interest. Some people have used credit card to get first real estate deal. Exactly. Exactly. Because some people understand that you can actually call up your credit card company and ask for a check. And your check will go against your line of credit on your credit card. So you can use that check as like a down payment on occasion. It all depends on how much money you make, though, but nonetheless. So many Americans have been trained consumer, used equity to buy assets, Mr. Financial telling it like it is. And she says, nice, nice, nice. Exactly. And oh, by the way, Vanessa Comagate, did I tell you the studio unit there, if it's not furnished, how about $69,000? How about $97,000 fully furnished? Oh, and that's a penthouse unit, studio unit. So you can do that at Cruise on Land. Or the next level is then a 2-bedroom. How about a 2-bedroom unit for $120,000, $115,000, unfurnished, but it's like I can't, it's 20,000 more, right? So we're about 160 for a 2-bedroom fully furnished. Those are your options. Oh, well, you have more options too. They have units that connect now. So you can have 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. It starts getting crazy. It's financially doable. Do you know what the 2 beds are going for? Yes, they're going for, hold on a second. Let me hold on. In fact, now that you asked that, some people may be going, hey, you know what? It's time for, I'm going to bring up the PDF. So then I'll show you. So you know what that means. It's time for one of these little special events that we do here, little interlude. So I'm going to do, nah, we won't do that one. Let's see here. We will do, I'm trying to see if there's one I haven't done in a while. Looks like I've been clicking on a lot of these. Okay, I haven't done this one in a while, so we'll do this one. We'll do this.
People call me the champ. That's not true. I'm a champ a long time ago. This is the champion, David Chu. Say hello. David Chu. Hello, everyone. Tell us what's the tournament that you just won a ridiculous amount of money in?
Well, what's the WPT?
Yeah, WPT where?
Barranquilla.
How much did you win?
3.4.
3.4 million dollars. David Chu just came home with. You're amazing. Amazing. Yes, let's give a hand for David Chu. We have David Chu here. Just won $3.4 million at the WPT. How we doing? How's the table? Oh my God, Brett Butler's here. Brett Butler and I have a lot of history. He's the man who got absolutely no cards at the final table when we were together. It was unbelievable. I got so unbelievably lucky, and he got nothing sick. It was really sick. This man should have won a hell of a lot more money. How much did you win at the World Series, David?
3.2.
For real? He won $3.2 million, and he got absolutely no cards, got completely screwed, and I felt really bad, but it's not that bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. You're playing against Glenn Turman, who's one of my old clients. Glenn is one of the great actors of our time. Glenn's been nominated for an Emmy this year for his HBO movie. You gotta come and talk to Glenn. You didn't recognize Glenn Turman as your next crazy? I'm so sorry.
Oh, hiding out on me, man. Oh, my goodness.
Of course. Glenn, I miss you so much. We have Glenn Turman in the house, everybody. Tell us about the movie that you're doing. You just did great feel. You're nominated for an Emmy this year.
Well, HBO put me up for the nomination.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Seamless Genius asked for it. We're bringing up the PDF for the property. And as you can see, this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome here. Hold on a second. Let me see. I got to pull this up. I don't know where it is. I can't find it. Okay. Anyhow, this is a hotel suite that they have. And that, hold on a second. I can't figure where the screen is. Anyhow, I can't find the screen. This is funny. I pulled up the PDF. I can't find it. So I'm going to have to do something else here. Here we go. All right. $58,000. As you can see, this is for the hotel unit. So over here on the, not this one right here in the middle, immediate levels. This is what it looks like. 1 bath. It's a hotel room, basically, with the sofa sleeper. $58,000, $97,000 fully furnished. All right, don't be fooled. It's not a 1-bedroom. This is a studio. Then they have a royal suite, which is a little bit bigger. So again, $69,900. Now we're at, I think, $109 fully furnished, something like that. $105, $103 fully furnished. The penthouse unit, I can't remember the exact amount. All right. Here's the premium hotel unit. And remember, the reason you see these jacuzzis, these are the penthouse units. Now, the premium has a little desk in the middle of the room and kind of a separator. I say door, but unfortunately, the bathroom's up front, which changes the whole game plan. 2-bedroom apartments. Here you go, Vanessa Comagate, $102,000. That's right, $102,000. Very simple. 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, 102,000. Get them while you can. 2-bedroom suite, 116,000. It's configured a little differently than the first one. So here's the 2-bedroom. The bedrooms are like straight. Now, and it's 64 square meters, which means it's only around 700 square feet. Now you change up into this larger 2-bedroom, and notice there's a different configuration. And this one is 76 square meters, which makes it around 840, 830 square feet. And you can get a penthouse unit, but they cost more. So again, these are the prices as we speak. And here goes another 2-bedroom. They call it the Royal Apartment. And again, we're back to the direct side-by-side type of rooms. So again, $108,000. But here's where the new ones come in. In buildings 3 and 4 and on in this development, notice they have connecting doors. Connecting doors here, ladies and gentlemen. You now can sleep 8 people. 4, oh no, more than that. No, 6. 2, 4, 6. Sofa sleeper would be 8. So now you can rent these separately as well. And these are $113,000. They're considering them a 2-bedroom, which they are. This is true. So in case somebody thinks that they cannot call this a 2-bedroom, hold on. Hold that thought in your head. I'm going to show you something. All right. It is a 2-bedroom because you do a lock off. Either way you slice it, this is a room by itself and that's a room by itself. And then you lock it off. So now you can rent these as singly studio units, or you can singly do a 2-bedroom unit. It gives you multiple ways to rent this unit. And here's the 3-bedroom. Talk about $142,000 for a 3-bedroom. I have to admit, this is pretty damn cheap. It's going to sleep 2, 4, 6, 8, including the sofa sleeper. They only have 2 bathrooms, one in the master, and everybody shares the other bathroom. I'm not a fan. I'm just saying, I'm not a fan. What I am a fan of is this here. The one that has the penthouse unit attached. The reason I'm a fan of that is upstairs in the penthouse unit is another full bathroom and another bedroom. That's what I love. Turns it into a 4-bedroom. Is that beautiful or what? And not only that, this is a lock off. So you have 2 bedrooms, studio, and upstairs is another full bath and another bedroom. Now we're talking. They're talking about from $142,000. Clearly, the penthouse is going to cost more. This is going to bring this over to about $200,000 if you do this configuration. I like it because we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 people can sleep in this unit. And oh, by the way, upstairs in the penthouse, they have a separate door. There's a door up here somewhere. I don't know where it is, but there's a door up there. So you can enter from up top, which is pretty sweet. I don't know if it's off the bathroom or not, but there's a door up here. So there you go. And I guess I should show, in case some people are interested, let me show a little bit more. Here's the, no, I won't even do this. Here's what it looks like, ladies and gentlemen. Children's pool, adult pool, snack bar, bar area, seating up top over it, seating underneath, seating along the sitting on the loungers. All of this is one complex. Like this could be buildings 1. Then the next one over is building 2. Everybody has this set up. Everybody. Look at this. Everybody has this set up. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. I won't even get into it, but amphitheater, nightclub, shopping mall is there, restaurants are there, theme restaurants, conference rooms, spa and wellness, co-working spaces, mechanical attractions park, art gallery, recording studio, nightclub, business center, chapel, casino, open air cinema, which means you throw up a cinema on the blocks, car, bicycle, electric scooter rentals, children, amphitheater. Okay. Here we go. Sports facilities, soccer field, micro soccer, tennis courts, volleyball courts, basketball courts, jogging and skating rinks, CrossFit gym. You guys seeing this? Oh, weddings, children's playground, pet park, fruit park, boot camp trails, flower garden, racquetball courts, mirror maze, fish lake, hanging sofas. Here's the yoga part. More yoga. Oh, the wedding venue by the man-made lake over here. This is a restaurant on the left side. Here it is. This is not condos. They tell me this is a restaurant. I thought it was condos. I said, man, yeah, that's kind of nice. Where are these condos selling for? And they're like, oh no, that's a restaurant. I'm like, oh, okay. That's kind of cool. Here's what it looks like. A little lighthouse. On each end, wedding venues, walk along the boardwalk. There's eating places along the boardwalk. And there's a water park, ladies and gentlemen. Water park. You and your guests get to use it for free. It's included. Anybody who's not staying at Cruise on Land has to pay to get into the water park. I love it. That's how it should be. Volleyball court, a man-made beach. Notice on the right-hand side, restaurant, bar. Notice volleyball, sand, man-made beach. Shall we keep going? Hanging, seating area for relaxation, sofa loungers, fire pit over water. What can I say? Kids over here on the left with the little eco park. And notice this one in the middle. Again, enough. Too much of this, ladies and gentlemen. Way too much. All right. There you go. I'm just saying. There you go. You still have time. Oh, by the way, that brings me up to something else. Now, I did mention those 2 studios, right? Remember, I mentioned that 2 studios side by side that some people may not call them 2 bedrooms. It is financially doable. Do you know what the 2 beds are going for? Okay. You saw what the brochure is. So yes, that's what it's going for. What was it? You can get a 2 bedroom for like $120 unfurnished or something. Oh my God, you're killing me softly here, boss. Exactly. Oh man, in Spain is not suck, thing is credit. The bank just want to see that you have a source of income and money in the bank. Yes, the Eurozone is a little different. This is why people can buy property differently overseas. I have to agree, but it does help if you're a citizen of the country. In Spain, it's not such a thing as credit. The bank just want to see that you have a source of income. That's how it should be. It should be an investment status. You won't find those cruise on land prices anywhere now, especially going east towards the ocean. Exactly. Exactly. You can forget that. These prices are amazing. Wow, I like the 2-bed penthouse, even though the studio pen is amazing. Yes, the 2-bedroom penthouse, fully furnished, is $167,000. The first phase, it was $137,000, which George's Charles got. He bought his, fully furnished, by the way, is $167,000. Unfurnished, it's around 126 or 130 for a 2-bedroom penthouse. I believe that's the number. Fully furnished, it's 167. I'm pretty sure it's 167 or 161. Can't remember which one. So it's still great prices. 130 unfurnished, 160 furnished for the 2-bedroom penthouse. Need a biz in DR. So boss, start a poker room. Call it Bird's Nest. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yes, that would be good, but you are starting a business in the DR. As soon as you buy the property, you're going to do Airbnb. Did you say roller skating rink is one of the amenities on Cruise on Land? Yes, I did. By when are they saying all these amenities will be operational? Okay, Victor Marrero, the first thing first. It won't be those won't be operational until after 2025. So in 2026, 2025, they're going to have the water park, the casino, the amphitheater. I think they're going to have the sports complex in the first phase, buildings 1, 2, 3, 4. After that, then it's going to take years. So now another year later, they'll add some other things. So it's going to take like a 5-year plan. But that skating rink, that could easily be 2025 or 2026. So it's hard to say. It's pretty sweet. At Laverne Pinnis, I think it's one or the other. As long as you can show passive income of at least $3,000 for a couple, I believe you're good. Or you can show you have a fat savings account. Exactly, Victor Marrero. He's talking about Spain, ladies and gentlemen. He's got that right. In Europe, they do things a little differently. In some occasions, not every time. Right, the Airbnb biz. So the 1-bed is a studio. Yes, it's a studio unit. It's not a 1-bedroom. Now, for all those who don't understand what I meant when I was saying those 2 studio units. Now, 2 studio units is going to cost you $130,000. So it's almost the same as a 2-bedroom, but the 2 studio units give you versatility because you can rent them as either a 2-bedroom or each separately as a studio unit. So I'm going to show you guys something. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show, but maybe because they have a 2-bedroom at Tahoe Seasons Resort. This is a shell property. Tahoe Seasons Resort in Lake Tahoe. They have a configuration. There's only like 8 of these in the building where they actually have 2-bedroom units, and I'm trying to see if they're going to give me a floor plan so you guys can see what I'm referring to. And this is an old picture. Oh, this is only one picture. Oh, they won't even show it. Oh, that's not good. That's interesting. They're not even showing people. This is not cool. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. They might show people. Let's see if they are. Nope, they're not even going to show people the floor plan. I was hoping to show you the floor plan, but it doesn't appear so. So I was going to show you there's like 8 in the building. There's 8 of these 2-bedroom units, and I used to actually own one of these. And the beauty of it is the same thing. 2 separate entrances, so I could rent them as 2 separate studio units. Or when somebody said, hey, I have 6 or 8 people with me, okay, then now we can have the door in the middle open because they're going to open it. And now you reserve it as a 2-bedroom. These 2-bedroom units rent for more than if you rented the studio units separately. That's how crazy it is, especially during ski season. So again, I was trying to show, but there's a precedent for this. In Anaheim, there's a place called Peacock Suites. They have something called a family unit, is what they term it. And the family unit is literally the same way. And so you can separate for each run, as each unit, as long as you put the lock off, close the door, lock it up. So it's pretty sweet. So I am torn, because that is almost the better way than just getting a 2-bedroom. But either way works. Either way works. And especially if they're the same price. Yes, that's a great option. If you're not going to live there and you're just going to rent it out, then my recommendation is you just get 2 studio units, because that gives you flexibility when people are renting. You say, hey, I have 2 studios, and you can rent them, I don't know, let's just say $75 a night for the studio unit. Then somebody says, I want a 2-bedroom, and now it's, $250 per night for the 2-bedroom. So it all depends. People will stay in these type of places, and I've never had a complaint, even though there's no bedroom, so to speak. They're both studios. I've never had a complaint. People know what they are. You have the floor plan. No other project in Punta Cana or even on the entire island is projected to have these many amenities. Question. You'll have to ask. Someone is paying to run these. Is that coming from the HOA? Oh, Victor Marrero, this is exactly where it comes into coolness. This is exactly, get this. They have already structured how much the HOA is going to be. Something like $100 per month. I know you're going to be like, that's impossible. Well, here's the thing. This is one of the reasons I got a little bent with the Vista Cana guys. Because unlike Vista Cana, unlike Cana Rock, unlike the beach, these guys is open. So the casino open, the water park open, amphitheater open. There's certain things at the project that anybody can come pay to use. I love that. And since they have people coming in to pay to use, that means our HOAs also are being paid down lower, and the homeowners don't have to pay for all that water and filtration and all that coming out of their pocket. The casino running, if it runs 24 hours a day, and whatever else they do over there, don't have to worry about it when you have people coming in losing money. So that's part of their ecosystem that I love. I don't know about what else they're going to charge people for, but amphitheater and shows, that's going to be charged for people as well. Charged to people. So they have the infrastructure. They have a boardwalk. People walk around, buy stuff. It helps out the homeowners. Yeah, it's going to be like $100. The 2-bedroom penthouse, I wish George's Charles was here, because I think it's $100. For the 2-bedroom penthouse is $100. Same as at Larimar. Same with Larimar. Exactly. Boss, do you have a contact to speak with over there? Yes, I do. Yes, I do have a contact for you, Vanessa Comagate. I'll send you their WhatsApp. It's the director. We'll get you with Herzl over there direct. All right. No way. 100 for all those amenities. Yes, exactly. That's true. The outsider's money will help with the upkeep. So I'm going to go back and show this real quick. Let me see how this looks on the screen. Okay. I'll have to get out of the screen. Notice the wedding venues. See, now people are coming off the street and they're going to be renting. They're going to be doing the wedding venues, right? Okay, why can't I get this all the time? All right, we'll pop it up for number 3. All right. Let's see. Am I on? We're on. Okay. Let's see here. Where's the wedding venue? Okay, this is it. I think that's it. Let me make sure. I have some things going on in the background that you guys can't see. All right. I'm going to do something here. Let me reduce the screen. All right. Okay. So we have the wedding event on there. I don't see it. Okay, give me a second, ladies and gentlemen. I got some. This is weird. Can't get back to that screen. All right, so here we go. Here goes one of the wedding venues. This is out by the ecosystem, right? Look at the other wedding venue on one side of the lake. And the other wedding venue is, where's the other side of the lake? Two sides of the lake. Well, I can't pull it up, it appears, but here we go. Left side by the lighthouse is an open atrium wedding. Right side, open atrium wedding. People are coming outside, bringing in their customers, bringing in their entourage. They're going to be here paying for these locations for the wedding. And here is the boardwalk where there's food that people are going to be buying, restaurant here that people are going to be using. This is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So now HOA homeowners don't have to have the money coming out of their pocket to maintain all of these services. I love it. Where do we sign up for this? Oh, I see what happened. It's all my fault, ladies and gentlemen. Now I see what happened. It's running on a different, I'm on a different browser. Okay, I got you. How cute. All right. So hopefully you guys saw all of that. Wow. Like European banks, just check income source. It depends. Not all of them do that, but it all depends. I can't help it, boss. I know it's an Airbnb biz, but have to take advantage of other tourism dollars. Vanessa Comagate, I know what you're saying. I feel your pain. I know exactly what you're saying because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm looking for extracurricular funds from that island, especially when they were growing. This is the beauty. If you want financial freedom, you put yourself in an area that's growing. You win by default because there's so many people coming to the area that you'll position yourself with your business to get more and more customers as the area grows. And then you become a staple. And because you're started from the beginning, people will say, oh, go see this guy. I stayed there last year. I stayed there 2 years ago. Go see this guy when you go. So that's one of the things that you have to consider when you're out here looking at properties. It's pretty cool. All right. So let me get out of that. Now I understand what happened. I blew it. So I opened it up in frickin' Microsoft. That's why I couldn't understand what was going on. All right. So we're going to stop the sharing here. We'll stop the love. We're back on. So yeah, it's understandable. We always have to have an extra business going on. That's how us entrepreneurs operate. So let's end this tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've been out here about 2 hours. This has been the financial freedom conversation for the night. If you couldn't get into the chat room, it's because you would have to be a member of the channel. All right. You would have to be a member of the channel and not a subscriber, but a member to be in the chat room. Wednesday night live streams only open to members with the icon. On Monday and Friday, it's open to everybody. All right. As a foreigner, it will be more respectable. That's true. That's very, very true. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something else because I can. I'm going to go get the Google Docs for this because remember, I don't really like giving estimates on prices. I really don't. So let me show some prices, shall we? I have prices. Let me show the real. I don't have to guess. I'll just show. I'll show you what the prices are. So let me go pull these up. I have them. It's our lucky day. Let's see here. Where's the window? Is that Cruise on Land? Hold on. Let me, oh, here we go. Took me a second. Where did it hide? It's hiding on me. It's hiding. Why is it hiding? Okay. Let's see if this is it. I think this is it. Let's see. Does that show? No, it's not showing the right thing. Hold on a second. I'm going to have to stop sharing this stuff here. Let's go find it, shall we? Let's go. There we go. All right. We got the right tab, ladies and gentlemen. Party's on. Check this out. Check it out. Here goes the prices so everybody can see what it is. I'm going to blow this up. Here you go. Okay. So this is for a regular hotel unit on the bottom floor, fully furnished. All of these prices are fully furnished. Now, bottom floor means you have a garden area. You have grassy knoll area. So that's going to be pricey. But after you get past the first floor, the second floor, $70,000, $72,000 fully furnished. All right. Now, this is also in building 1. They don't have connecting units in building 1 and 2. So I just wanted to get this out there. And so everybody can see fully furnished penthouse, if they have any, $98,000. And we have a member of the SSN Nation that owns a fully furnished penthouse. I think he bought his for $98,000 fully furnished, if I'm not mistaken, or 90. I think it was 90 or 89,000. But that's what it is for one of these studio units, fully furnished. So what I'm going to do is I will fast forward to buildings 3 and 4. So this is going to be building 3 that I'm going to show next. Building 3. I'm going to have to blow it up a bit as well. Building 3 are connecting units. So you're going to see prices crazy. This is fully furnished. Now, I'm pretty sure these are not available, but again, these are on the first floor. This is a 2-bedroom, fully furnished. That is that. I think this is the studios side by side. Nope. This is a regular 2-bedroom, $146,000 fully furnished. Vanessa Comagate. Take off about $25,000. So that means a 2-bedroom unfurnished is like $120,000. All right. Now, studio premium, $100,000 fully furnished. These are all on the bottom floor. Here goes a 2-bedroom that connects with the studio. And as you can see on the bottom floor, it's $225,000. Now, let's move upstairs. The 3-bedroom is $232,000. The 2-bedroom that's connecting is $165,000. So again, that's about right now. They're $80,000 each. $80,000 for each studio unit makes it $160,000. They're both fully furnished. That's $165,000 fully furnished. Now, I'm going to show number 4, which won't be fully furnished. So then some people will say, okay, Eric, that's fully furnished. That seems like a lot more. Yes, because it's $20,000 to $30,000 worth of furniture. So of course, this has to cost more. Now, if you really want to do something crazy, then your bet is the 3-bedroom penthouse unit. It's $265,000, which puts it at a high number, but this right here can sleep 10 people. And it has a bedroom on the terrace in the top of the penthouse, along with the jacuzzi and with a full bath. So this turns into a 4-bedroom up top, $263,000. So again, you have options. I'm sorry, I always keep saying the 3-bedroom connecting turns into a 4-bedroom. It does not actually. It's still a 3-bedroom. They don't have a bedroom in the terrace on this one. Only the 4-bedroom do they have. The 4-bedroom penthouse is the only one that actually has the bedroom on the terrace to make it a 4th bedroom. This right here is a 3-bedroom connecting, meaning it's a 2-bedroom and a studio. They have 2 jacuzzis, 2 terraces, and 3 bathrooms, but they cost the same as a 4-bedroom. So take your pick on how you want to do it. The 3-bedroom connecting allows you to rent a a studio penthouse or a 2-bedroom penthouse. Gives you more flexibility, but they both cost generally the same. So take your pick. Whereas a 2-bedroom penthouse is $168,000. So that's what I was looking for. It's $168,000 for the 2-bedroom penthouse. Now, I'm going to bring up number 4, so don't worry. I'm going to show you the prices here without furniture. All right? So you'll see they're $25,000 to $30,000 less, and this will give you an idea of the pricing. So see here, we already started off on the ground floor, a 2-bedroom with grass, with only the kitchen appliances included, is $129,900. But as soon as you go up to the 2nd floor, a 2-bedroom, 2nd floor, where are we at? 2-bedroom is $105,000. There you go. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $105,000. This is only with your kitchen. This is not fully furnished prices. You can see here on the 2nd floor, hotel unit, $70,000. The 2-bedroom connecting, where these are 2 studio units, unfurnished, $113,900, so $114,000. All this means this sleeps 8 people. This is significant. This is good. These are hella good prices for what you're getting. A 3-bedroom, $150,000. Now, let's go up to the penthouse unit. And now you have a 4-bedroom that is $228,000. If you guys probably can't see it, I didn't have it big enough. And now let's go with the 3-bedroom, in case somebody's listening on the podcast. 3-bedroom connecting penthouse is $234,000. But a 2-bedroom penthouse, unfurnished, $152,000. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got plenty of options, plenty of choices. All right. There you go. You're not going to be left behind. No American nightmare for SSN Nation members. You have ways out. People are working their behinds off, don't understand that a little bit of money they could put aside right now can change their life for the rest of their life. Because whatever happens in America, you will always have a place to rent and a place to live if worse comes to worse. So for the rest of your life, you have revenue streams coming in. In case you don't understand what's fully going on in the Dominican Republic, it literally is the #1 tourist destination by the numbers in Latin community. all of the Caribbean. Number 2 is Cuba, surprisingly. We're talking including South America, Costa Rica, and all that stuff. More than Puerto Rico, more than Virgin Islands, the Dominican Republic has the most tourists. All right. Now, here's the second part to the equation and the most important. If you told somebody that there's 8 million visitors to the Dominican Republic territory, that's not so special in itself. But if you knew out of the 8 million that 4.5 million of those are landing at the Punta Cana airport, now you may say, what did they always tell you about real estate? Location, location, location. Well, all I know is if 50% plus of all tourists are coming through the Punta Cana airport, I think I want my property somewhere in the Punta Cana region. Now, I do say that, but Dominican Republic is growing. So properties are cheap all over the island. Getting in now, no matter where you are in the island, is going to be key. They are promoting Dominican Republic as a destination 12 months a year. And last year during the summer, which is traditionally a little lower season, they had all-time record tourist visitors. So now you understand, I'm not going to be mad at you if you invest in Dominican Republic. But if you know 50% of all tourists come through into the Punta Cana region, it only makes sense that you should probably buy real estate in the Punta Cana region. And if you also know, which you guys here know and hardly anybody else knows, if you know there's going to be another second airport in Punta Cana, and there's something else. They have not gotten approval for this yet, but they are trying to make a second airport an American airport. What I mean by that, if I travel from California and I go to Orlando, Florida, I don't need a passport. They are talking about if you leave from an airport in the United States, it's just like if you landed in Puerto Rico, if you landed in the U.S. Virgin Islands, they're trying to make it if you land in the Dominican Republic, you don't need a passport. Do you know how many more tourists will be visiting the Dominican Republic in the Punta Cana area if they have that one airport that you just need a driver's license? Talk about an explosion. That would add it easily 1 million more people a year going to the Punta Cana region. Easily. Especially with Orlando of the Caribbean on tap. That's what they're literally trying to do. Kathmandu Park, other parks, other water parks, other zip line and adventure parks. Movies are being made there. All kind of things are happening. So again, this is why. This is awesome. Thank you, boss. You're welcome. Good prices. I definitely want it furnished. There you go. All right. That 3-bedroom for $230K, including furniture, is nice. You should buy as big as you can afford. Having more bedrooms gives you a lot more pricing flexibility and bookings. Exactly. Just my experience. Hey, your experience matters. You've been doing vacation rentals for a while, for a few years. A few years counts in the realtor game, investing game with Airbnb. And I concur, and I've been doing it for 20. So he's exactly right. That's why when you guys, I mentioned it from the get-go, I always said try to get a 2-bedroom and higher, because you can always make money with anything in pre-construction, whether it's studio 1-bedroom, because the prices are low enough. But you get to maximize later. So I can always charge more than anybody that, if I have a 2-bedroom, I can always charge more than anybody that has a 1-bedroom or a studio unit. And then if I add amenities like they have at Cruise on Land and Larimar, and other places like Vistacana has them too, and other places. Once you have more amenities than other places, now you start separating, and now you have visitors to the island and customers going, hey, where's this Cruise on Land place? Wait a minute, I want to stay there. I want to go to the water park. It's included, they're telling me. I don't have to pay. They're telling me there's a casino there. They're telling me hey, there's a concert there. It's an amphitheater. I get to go there too. Well, you got to pay for tickets, I'm sure. But all these amenities all of a sudden add up. And now you get to charge more for having the same 2-bedroom that other people can't charge, because now it's more valuable. And by the way, in case I haven't mentioned this, and that 3-bedroom for $232K, including furniture, if it's a lock off, the lock off, that's even more important, because if you can get somebody to rent a studio unit and then you still have a 2-bedroom left, you literally have 2 units to rent. And what that means is, even if it's just renting one side, you have revenue coming in while one side sits empty. But if you rent both sides, then you're winning all the way around. But just think about, not everybody needs a 3-bedroom. Sometimes people are going, let me have a 2-bedroom. Sometimes people are coming, I just need a studio. It's just 2 of us. So long as you have that flexibility, you get to make more money. A lot more. I'm going to give you guys examples. I mean, I own lock-offs. I own places like what they're doing. And like I say, in Anaheim, there's also one in Tahoe. The Tahoe Seasons has them. Ridge Tahoe has lock-off units where it's a studio and a 1-bedroom. There's several places that are built like this. In Vegas at the Grandview, you walk in one door and then it separates into 2 1-bedrooms, but you count them as a 2-bedroom or 1-bedrooms. So you have rentals. As long as you can rent out your places more times during the month, you make more money. And especially with the flexibilities, it's astounding when people are trying to hit you up and they're like, hey, I got 5 people with me, but you got a 1-bedroom. And then you're like, no, I got a lock-off unit. I got a 2-bedroom that can sleep 5 people. And you're in the same room or a separate room side by side with a connecting door. That changes the whole game. That gives you more people. So it does give you plenty of flexibilities, and having additional rooms and bathrooms matter. All right. Facts. Exactly. I'm in love with these amenities. Hey, we all are. And the price is right for now. And here's what I'm afraid of. Tomorrow, I'm going to get the availability list. I actually could probably get it because they keep it on their Google files, and I have the luxury of having the Google files. That's what I was originally looking for, to see if I still had them. But then I found that. So I don't know if I have the Google files. No, I don't have the Google files anymore. Well, no, I don't. That's interesting. I'll have to get them. But just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we make money long term. This is how you have the American dream long term. A lot of people here have already invested in real estate and they're living the American dream. And they're thinking about getting more, going overseas to Europe and getting more, going to Mexico, getting more. The reason why? That's what the top 10%ers do. Because not all market is the same, and you diversify. Just like getting more than one business in different business locations. That's all you're doing. And so if you can get that, then get it. But it all starts with the first one. After you get the first one, and I'm going to say it again, I know you guys are tired of me saying it, but after you get the first one, and what I was saying was, I'm afraid of what's going to happen at Cruise on Land. After this January, February, March, and April, more people are going to know about Cruise on Land. If they get a high sellout number, that means the next buildings 3, 4, 5, and 6, the prices are going to be like $40,000 more. They've already done $30,000 to $35,000 more for the first, from buildings 1 and 2 to buildings 3 and 4. They're going to keep this up. So whoever gets in now in buildings 1, 2, 3, or 4, you potentially, when they go 5, 6, 7, 8, your property is going to be worth $60,000, $70,000 more, or even more than that, because of all the amenities. And I got secrets. I got some secrets, and I'm going to share some secrets. Here's some of the secrets. So I'm giving you speculation. I'm just going to give you speculation. So first of all, Cruise on Land. They were going to build Cruise on Land in South America, but they did the smartest thing. They said, hold on a second. The place that has the most amount of tourists, I think we should build there first. So they came over here. But a little birdie has told us that this is the first Cruise on Land. So now, I mentioned this on Monday. If they're going to make another Cruise on Land, and now that means there is a global branding. So now if they do something in South America, if they do something in Europe, and they call it Cruise on Land, all of a sudden they're doing what the big boys do. They're creating a brand, just like if it was a Hilton, just like if it was Margaritaville, just like if it was Sandals. If they start doing that, then that means you have an ecosystem, and your ecosystem means people will say he has a fully furnished unit over here in the Dominican Republic. Another person will say they have one over in, let's just say, Spain. Another person will say, well, there's one down in Brazil. All of a sudden, people start recognizing this is a brand, this is a place that we want to hang out because they have all these amenities. Can you imagine that being the scenario? Guess what? That's probably going to be the scenario. That's why Cruise on Land is ranked number 1. Larimar ranked number 2 or number 1 as well. They're 1A, 1B. They're both tied. But that little kicker right there is a significant kicker because, yes, what are they, a franchise? No, Vanessa Comegate. They just started. They are not a franchise. But the way they were talking with me, I think that they're going to go back down to South America, put in their Cruise on Land. Then they're going to go over to Europe and pick a spot over there and put another Cruise on Land. That's what they were talking. This isn't the first and only one. There's going to be others, just like a cruise ship. That's what they're trying to do. It's just like a cruise ship. So they're going to have stuff on different continents. And then the unthinkable, which they did not share any of this with me, but in my brain starts doing crazy thoughts, because my brain starts going, okay, if you have a unit in Punta Cana and another owner has a unit in, let's say, Spain, our favorite location right now that we've been talking about, all of a sudden I can do swaps theoretically, or I can do swaps personally. I can make a deal with other owners, because here's the thing. If I own at the number 1 place that rents out, Dominican Republic, that means several things. My bargaining power with another owner to swap is a lot heavier than someone else. Somebody else could have a 3-bedroom over in Spain. I could have a 2-bedroom over here and say, hey, Kay, I'll swap with you. Some of you may not understand what's going on, though, because if I get that deal where me and this other person say, okay, I have a 2-bedroom, let's say regular, and they have a 3-bedroom over in Spain, well, guess what just happened? Not only am I promoting my 2-bedroom over here, I'm also promoting a 3-bedroom over there with my swap idea. So now I actually have another property that I can actually make money from based on if I swap. Now I have a 3-bedroom this year, but this is also why I say lock-offs and all that, because I can actually keep one unit and still have a studio unit You can do all kind of stuff. So it's wild out here in the rental sphere. So that's what I think is going to happen. They're going to build several others. In fact, they kind of hinted toward that. And then it's just a matter of, are they going to make it like a Margaritaville or a Sandals or something like that, where you can actually go to different ones and get the same type perks? Now, that also means, does that mean if I'm an owner at one that I can roll up to the other one and use the amenities? That would be cool. So now you see why the price is so crazy. And it could get off the charts if they start talking crazy and let people know 3 years from now, oh, we're building another one over in Spain and they're connected somehow. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, this is really good news. Branding is always a plus. Exactly. And oh, by the way, shuttle service. Unlike everywhere else, shuttle service to the airport, pick up at the airport, and also taking you around town free, allegedly. I don't believe it, but free, allegedly, shuttle service. So you don't need a car. I like it. I like it. Yes, I will say this as well. Don't sleep, ladies and gentlemen. You have two opportunities. Larimar City, 1 bedrooms at Larimar cost $90,000. Ocean View, $90,000 from Larimar City. 2 bedrooms at Larimar, $120,000. Ocean View. These prices for Larimar City, number 1A, 1B, and Cruise on Land 1A, 1B, I cannot think that they're going to hold up after this season goes by. I don't see how it's going to hold up. The prices are going to start skyrocketing once people understand. The only reason they haven't skyrocketed so far is because they're in Verone. They're still in the countryside, so to speak. People have to drive out a little ways, and people don't believe they're going to happen. But as soon as they break ground, both of them in March, people are going to see some backhoes out there and some tractors, and then people are going to be like, oh my God, this is going down. There's still realtors who don't believe that these projects are going to be built. It's incredible. So they're not promoting these locations, Larimar City and Cruise on Land, heavily. But they're both going to break ground in March. So it's happening. It's going down. It's going down. Send me the number, boss. I'm going to call them. Okay, it's on WhatsApp. I'll send it to you later today. It's Herzl on WhatsApp. Victor Morel, any questions I should be asking him? It's just like any normal real estate. It won't stay that way for long. Exactly, Wilson Koo. It's not going to stay that way. 24-month goes fast. Exactly. Marinara. Exactly. It goes by very, very fast. But no, the question is just like when you were going to go buy the multifamily in Florida. It's the same thing, because unless you plan on, if you're going to live there, then that's a whole nother series of questions, so to speak. But if you're going to treat it as a rental property, then it's the same thing when you were looking at rental property in Florida. It's the same thing. It's just, remember, you just need to know the down payment, the payment plan. When's it going to be ready? There's nothing more to it. It's pre-construction. It's not, they haven't even broke ground yet. They're building models up front as we speak. So, and both of them in March, like I say, Larimar City, I love that too. So either way, you can't go wrong. In my opinion, you can't go wrong at anywhere. It's still priced right. Again, I'm very bullish. Sounds good. We find developments in Spain. Yep. Yeah, Spain's going to be a hot spot. It's just the way it is. No, I don't. What was that? I lost it. No, I don't plan on living there, just biz. Okay. Yeah, so you treat it just like any other business, real estate rental business. It's nothing. Actually, you're just buying real estate. It's that simple. So It's just they're going to tell you 10% down, or it's 10% down, and then your payments are 20 or 30% of the total amount. So again, that $100,000, you're going to put 10% down, so that's 10,000, and then they're going to say, well, it's going to be done in 24 months, and we want 20,000, or let's say 30,000. It's 30% during construction. So 24 months, $1,500 per month is what that represents, I believe. So that's what the numbers would be. And then at the end of those 24 months, you either pay cash or finance. And at the end of those 24 months, your property is going to be worth double. Because in those 2 years, they're going to have buildings 7, 8, 9, 10. And those buildings are going to be $30,000 to $40,000 more for the units. So that means 3 of those is 90 G's. So you're going to have you're at least doubled in value. So you're not going to even have a loan to value of 60%. It's going to be less than that. And Wilson Koo hopefully will still be alive and kicking and well in 2 years. And people will be getting their funding, or maybe he can help with the funding. And 40 or 30% LTV is a good, one hell of a place to be. And that's where everybody's going to be, quite frankly. Sounds like a great deal. We'll replay this. No worries. Yep, that's great. I actually made a video a couple of days ago about Cruise on Land, maybe 5 days ago now, 6 days ago, where it was specific, and I actually went over all this, same kind of thing. So you can check that out too. That's great. Exactly. It's a winner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please smash the like button, share the videos. Come join us again on Friday night live stream. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but you never know. It's going to help you, because we don't want you to be in the American dream and nightmare at the same time. We want you to live the American dream. Everybody should live the American dream. Everybody. Now, everybody strives for that American dream, but what does it sound like? All I remember when I was 22, 23, 24, 25, whenever it was, I was working with some people, all I kept hearing was, man, I got another 15 years to retire. I got another 20 years to retire. I'm like, wait, you're going to actually work here for another 20 years, 15 years? My brain is not even thinking like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, hold on. I got places to be, places to go, things to do. I only get like 1 week a year. Even after year 2 or 3, I get 2 weeks a year. A year after that, I get 3 weeks a year. I was like, what do you mean 3 weeks a year you get off? I'm like, nah, I don't like this scenario. I like a different scenario. How about I get to go whenever I feel like it? I like that one better. So the life goes according to the path that your destiny that you create is the one that you deserve. That's all I can tell you, right? So if you want the extracurriculars, then that means you have to invest in the American dream. And that American dream means no barriers to entry. Nobody's stopping you. Nobody's coming to save you. That means you're out here slaying dragons. You're out here being Wonder Woman and Superman. You're out here making sure that you're putting your money where it works for you and buying assets so they work for you. So then this way you can be anywhere on the planet. And since we live in this era where you have a laptop, as long as you have Wi-Fi, you can work from anywhere. But wouldn't it be nice if your work is involved with you making extra streams of revenue, extra income coming in, and it doesn't depend on you having to show up at a certain location? Because that's half the battle. Once you don't have to connect to a certain location day in and day out, then that means you can be anywhere that you want to be and still conduct business. And let's just face facts. I mean, there's many people that's traveled around the world here and does extracurricular. If you can get it, like Victor Marrero has his perfect setup just off of the one thing he did at Margaritaville. $300,000 investment in Margaritaville. His life permanently changed because he's the recipient of 5 figures, what we're talking about, not 8,000, not 9,000, but $10,000 or more every month profits. So he can be anywhere he wants to be once he decides that's what he wants to do. He can go all over, right? We have Mr. Cool here who also has rental property. He can be anywhere on the planet. So once you set yourself up, it doesn't have to be rental property. Maybe it's just YouTube, and maybe you're one of these people that is lucky enough to have thousands of viewers, and so therefore you have hundreds of dollars per week, thousands of dollars per month that you have coming in, and all you have to do is go around and make videos. Or maybe you're one of these TikTok people who can make these little skits and do funny things or talk about something that people like and get checks from sponsors there, or Instagram, or Facebook, or Twitter. So all of this is in play, but can you set it up? But the one thing is, here's the one thing about the social media that I just talked about. The American nightmare is going to settle in sooner or later, right? You're going to have a saturation of individuals. You're going to have a saturation of certain individuals being able to get sponsorship deals of any significance. Everyone else will not be able to get those same deals because they can only do so many people, content providers. So once you have a saturation, that means there's a peak, and then there's going to have to be a downturn of some sort. So that could be fleeting. Whereas if you're in real estate or have several businesses that are actually in business generating revenue based on business protocols, then you have money coming in that's going to be there for a long term. Is 10 years long term? 15 years long term? Yes. If you can stay in business 10, 15 years and have significant profits coming in, that means you can use those profits to buy more assets. That makes your whole life a little different, changes the whole scope. So that's what we're doing here with everybody. You guys get to change your life financially. And once you change your life financially, that opens up doors to do and be in certain different situations. All right. Now, maybe one of these days, we'll talk about investing in a winery. How about that? All right. Maybe I'll start looking around. Maybe I'll go check out and see if we can do some winery stuff. Agree. Main thing is that they're built for Airbnb. Eric, do they have a management company or is it do it yourself? Cruise on Land has management company. And it's going to be, I believe, they're doing a 30% or 35%. Actually, I don't really know. I'll find out tomorrow just to make sure, because originally it was either 30%, 35%. They weren't sure, but that's before they broke ground and everything. So before the trailers are going up and the models. So maybe now they have a fix, because in 2 years, they're done. They're going to have their buildings 1 and 2 up. But no, they have a management company. Very good question, Morel. Yes, they have a management company. I prefer it being managed by a company. Yes, they have a management company. It's all in play. They already got it handled. My businesses will do well, but I need some real estate. Yes, we always need real estate. It doesn't have to be number one, but real estate always can bail you out, can always bring in revenue as long as you're holding it. Think about this. There's families from the 1800s that were very rich. Their family lost the money over time because each generation has to generate more profits or more revenue. And the business that was good in 1885 isn't going to be good in 1930, right? So your family loses their business, but they have homes, right? So now they have a famous name, let's say, and how many of the famous names have opened their home and made them like museums? And so charge people to come in and see the homes. So their family still makes money from people visiting, like, let's call it number one spot, Graceland, right? Elvis Presley's home. Millions every year. So this is the type of thing real estate affords you and your family money coming in, and depending on how you transfer it and set it up, could be for lifetimes, not just one lifetime, for your whole offspring, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, because remember, property value goes up. As long as you maintain the property and keep it, something that cost $10,000 in San Jose in 1960, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, is now $1.5 million. So not saying anything other than they can rent that thing for $5,000 to $10,000 per month. So they get to keep money rolling in. That makes it sustainable for the family or some family members, not everybody, but I'm just saying that gives you an idea. Now, spread that out. If you had 5 pieces of property or 6 pieces of property and your family acted right, you had everything lineaged right with the trust, everything sits there perfectly. Now the family, all they have to do is do what we're talking here. Who's going to manage my property? They're managing it. So you're giving our family 30 or 70% return every month? Yes. Granddad did great. That's all it is. All right. The Bird's Nest Winery. Exactly. I'm only half joking because that's a long road to hoe if you start from scratch. So what we would be looking for is a winery that's going to be an upstart who's going to do what you call have their grapes on the vine. Then they're going to have a separate company come in and do the grape stomping, take them off the vines and do all the things, and they process it. You have your own maker. So you get this small winery that needs an investors or looking for investors, and they give you a piece of the company. That's what we could look for, right? That will be interesting. All right. But that's on another story, another line. I've mentioned it before. Thanks, guys. I appreciate your help. Love my SSN Nation. No problem. Seamless Genius. Always sharing your great ideas and making us think. So I love that. And any way we can help you get in the real estate game, because you're built for it, quite frankly, because you like that passive income. And if you like passive income and you want somebody to rent it for you, that's the easiest passive income. And here's the other thing. If you're able to get 4 figures, which is thousands, if you can get $2,000-$3,000 per month for something that you bought, well, let's just say now, and then 2 years later, you're still getting $3,000, and because the rent's going to increase because it costs more over time, you always raise your rent over time. So instead of $4,000, next thing you know, it's $4,800 for the next year. Then it's $5,800 the next year, and then $6,100 the next. Now you're in a whole different category in short years. You're not having to work or take 10, 15, 20 years to get to the promised land. You get to the promised land in under 5, under 3. You shorten your time span because let's just call it what it is. Victor Morrell, 5 G's per month. All right. Let's call it what it is. I also do five figures every month. So on real estate. So, and again, in case somebody's, saying, okay, show me, search the channel. I did 2 Airbnb videos. They are 2 or 3 years old. And at that time, I showed my actual 1099s from Airbnb. So some of you might be going, Eric just said like 10,000 or something. You might see some numbers. They say like 20-something thousand a month. Some say in some months, 25. For instance, like right now is prime time in Scottsdale, Arizona. February and March, prime time. Waste Management Open is next week. Just so happens the Super Bowl is next 2 weeks from now too. So if you have 4 properties or 4 doors, however you pronounce it, and if you charge somebody $500 per night for 3 nights, that's $1,500. If you charge somebody $500 per night and they stay Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's 4 nights. They check out Sunday, that's $2,000. If you have 4 or 5 units, all of a sudden that's $10,000 in gross revenue, not profits, just gross revenue for 1 week, right? So now when the Arabian Horse Show comes and you charge people, well, not 500, it's because it's not like the most amount of tourists. You charge people 400 per night, but the Arabian Horse Show is 10 days. So now somebody says 7 and people need 3 units. So now all of a sudden you got another 28. Now you got another 10,000 in revenue. So in 2 weeks, you have 20,000 in revenue, not profit, but revenue. So when they send you your 1099, obviously it's going to show 20-some thousand dollars for the month of February, right? Then the month of March in Scottsdale. This is just Scottsdale. This isn't Vegas or nothing else, just Scottsdale. Then the last 2 weeks or the middle 2 weeks in March is spring training in Scottsdale, Phoenix area. So once again, a whole week, you get to charge people $3,000 for a week for a 2-bedroom unit. So if you have 3 or 4 of those units, again, you'll have a $10,000 gross revenue. So you can easily see why rental real estate is more valuable than month-to-month rental estate. You want to be in a high-demand hotspot, you get to charge more, and you make more money with less visitors. So the fourth week of this month, I don't care if anybody stays, nobody's staying. The first week in March, and maybe even up to the second week around the 13th, 14th, nobody's staying. I don't care, because the third week, the second and third week in March, I have 3 units. So those 3 units are going to generate $2,800 for each week. So I only rent 14 days out of the month, but that 14 days means whatever, 15,000, 16,000 gross revenues, right? So that's just in Scottsdale. That doesn't even say anything about, okay, well, there's the EDC festival in Las Vegas where everybody wants March 15th through the 18th, that I also charge $400 per night for a 2-bedroom. All right. So now there goes another $1,200. We have 4 units. So now all of a sudden that's another $4,800 in gross revenue. So now you throw that in. Now all of a sudden you're seeing why, if you see my Airbnb videos, you'll see things like $25,000 this month, $35,000 that month, 20, that's why you see these crazy numbers. And then profits is all based on how much your expenses are. And so in my case, I have expenses that are higher than most. It's like 30%, 35. Well, actually the equivalent of if I had a management company, 35 to 45% is what it is. But I charge people an arm and a leg because it's prime time, high demand. So once you guys understand you are in a high demand area like Punta Cana or Dominican Republic, now you understand you can charge a higher amount of money so you make more profit. The same rule, the only person that I know here, Victor Marrero, has the same luxury because he rents at Margaritaville. And Margaritaville, high demand. And it's also a little luxury. So people are going to spend more money. So he gets to make a lot more money than anybody that's just holding a 2 or 3 bedroom residential house in the neighborhood. So that's the whole thing. Thanks, guys. That's great, guys, for passive income. Exactly. It's passive income for life. That's the thing right there. So this is why the same rules that I give you guys are the same rules I apply. This is why I have stuff in Vegas. This is why I have stuff in Scottsdale. This is why I have stuff in Hawaii. All these hot spots. This is why I have stuff in Orlando. This is why I have stuff in Miami, South Florida. That's it, and not Fort Lauderdale and not the other little spots in between. Yes, I do have Fort Lauderdale Beach Club, right? But at the same time, Miami proper, you charge a lot more. All right. So there's certain destinations. Los Cabos, nice hot spot for Mexico. Cancun's a hot spot, but unfortunately, that's mostly all-inclusives. And you can't compete with all inclusive because they charge what 65, 75 per night per person. So I can't charge enough for that peninsula. So I don't even rent in Cancun or that area. I only do like Los Cabos, Puerto Vallarta, because most people want to go to those two. And that's pretty much all I do with Mexico nowadays. I used to do Mazatlan because of El Cid Mega Resort. I used to own there. So I loved it because guests used to be able to get away with murder. And what I mean, good stuff murder. When the guests used to show up at El Cid Mega Resort, it's like a 5-star. They would be treated like 5-star. They go downstairs, get people 2-3 bottles of wine, bring it up to them. I didn't even have to pay extra for none of this. They bring up chips and stuff like this to the people, and it's crazy stuff. I mean, yeah, okay, I had a nice penthouse unit, but the fact of the matter is they treated people who stayed there like gold, and it wasn't even all inclusive. So I didn't even have to do anything crazy. So there's just little stuff like this. Anaheim, you have anything in Anaheim? So when we start talking about in Anaheim, and Vanessa Comagate knows, Dolphins Cove is right by the convention center. These are condo timeshare hotels. Dolphins Cove, Convention Center. So every it just passed February. No, it's now. Coming up is a musical event. So guys are going to be paying for the 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's going to be like $450 per night. There's just these events. And when you have more than 1 or 2 units in the same complex, now you got 3 high demand areas, 3 bookings, high demand, and you're charging people normally something that somebody would pay $299 a night for. You're charging $450 per night. So now you can rent less. So that's all I'm trying to say. This is why in the Dominican Republic, the same rules apply. High demand equals high prices eventually. High demand, where people want to stay and need to be, means you get to charge even more. So you win all the way across the board, and you can rent for less amount of nights and still make a nice living. So I set you up for this, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it's all based on. All right. Yes, I didn't know you have rentals in Anaheim. Cool. Yes, it's a hot spot. As you know, the hotels are always jam-packed in Anaheim. Oh, you know that. And there's not many places for people to stay. So this is why by the Angels, if they're still called the Angels, where their baseball park is, and was it Honda Arena where the hockey team is? I think it's Honda, or is it Toyota? But anyhow, where those arenas are, that's why they built on the other side of I-5, why they build all those condos over there. And that's why a lot of people do Airbnb rentals in those condos, because of all the sporting events that they have there. So that's the hot spot. But initially around Disneyland, the people have those small homes, and then they have like the Wyndham is there. There's a Wyndham, can't remember the name of the Wyndham. Then they have the Dolphins Cove. Then they have Peacock Suites. And then they have like little hotels. So there's only a few places that you can get yourself into right walking distance to Disneyland. And that's why another hot spot, ladies and gentlemen, when you tell somebody you can walk to Disneyland in 5 minutes, they're like, wait, I don't have to park my car at the Disney parking lot and pay whatever they charge, $10 a day. I can actually walk there. Yes. And how about this? How about you pay $3 a person and there's a shuttle that'll pick you up right outside if you don't even want to walk the 5 minutes? They're like, really? Hell yeah. I need to stay here. I need to stay here every time we come to Anaheim. So this is the kind of thing that you have in Dominican Republic. That's the same infrastructure you're going to have. Same as Orlando, or similar to Orlando too. So that's why you're at a driver's seat for being there. They sure are. Yes, the Honda Center. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, I couldn't remember it was Honda or Toyota, but yeah, that's why all the condos are over there, because they needed extra. First, they had extra workers, nowhere to live around there. Then the second, they were like, hold on, we only have a limited amount of space. It's not like we can build a freaking 500, 600 unit hotel around here somewhere. So why don't we just build the best of both worlds? We'll build these condos over here where people can live and people will rent them out. So, and then we'll put in a shopping center down there. So these are the infrastructures, and this is the thing that you have to think about with the DR or any real estate investing. Yep. I even tried to find rentals there too to do a Disney themed Airbnb. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a hot spot because there's not a lot of availability there. There's nowhere to build anything of any significance, but they did find it on the other side at the end and made like Orange. They kind of building up Orange now. It was a nice little quiet community. Now they're like, I'm sorry, we got to move over here a little bit. And it is what it is. So whoever got those properties 5 to 10 years back, they were able to buy those condos for like $250,000. Now I don't know what they're worth. They could probably be worth $1 million for all I know, the way things are priced down there. But it's crazy. Yeah, and speaking of that Airbnb, Disney themed Airbnb, there are people that rent their homes out and they do that Disney theme. They have the Mickey on the wall and the colors and the castle and doing all kind of crazy, and then charge people crazy amounts of money. It's crazy. I'm not mad at anybody because it's demand. There's nowhere to stay close by. And you don't want to drive to the park because then you're spending a lot of extra money and wasting time. So again, that's it. Now let's wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, smash the like button. Please join me again on Friday night and the rest of the SSN Nation here. And once again, everybody here, thank you for your input. Thank you for sharing. And you know, I love you guys. That's the only reason I keep coming back for more of this, to help out others. And you guys are the inspiration because you've been here. A lot of you been here for the 3-4 years. Some been here 2, some been here 1, some are new. But either way, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Tell other people, because there's a lot of people out here that don't realize they're sitting. Think about this. This financial freedom conversation continues. Think about something. There's people sitting here right now sending $500, $1,000 per month to the 401k. And they're going, okay, I'm going to have, let's just use $1,000. That's $12,000 a year. I'm getting 10% return on my money every year, let's say. They work there for 20 years. All right? 20 times 12, 240,000. But whatever, they're going to end up with around $650,000, $700,000, right? Now, after they wind up with $700,000, let's say, they walk out. They don't have a job. The $7,000 is now on the clock. And also the cost of living costs twice as much more than when they started their work. Now, they have nothing but cash. That is a perilous situation because they're going to have to use that cash to figure out how to make more of that cash. Whereas if you do it the other way, where you say, I'm going to send $1,000 a month for 2 years or 3 years. And then at the end of that time, I have real estate and I'm going to have money coming in for the rest of my life. That's a whole different ball game, because money coming in for the rest of your life and the value of the property has increased over time. So you win twice. Worst comes to worst, you can always sell it. Otherwise, why sell it? Because if you're going to have thousands of dollars per month coming in, and 5 to 10 years later, I get to raise my price based on the economy. So I never get to lose. I always get to raise my price over time. It costs more for everything. It's beautiful work if you can get it. Guess what? You can get it. All right. Good night, fam. Good night to you too. Thank you so much. They do that in Orlando. Yes. in Orlando as well. Orlando went crazy. They now have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 bedroom homes that they're building out there specifically for families and groups to rent to go to Orlando conventions or parks or whatever. It's out of control what's going on in Orlando. Man, whoever got in the Orlando market like Victor Morrell 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago and before that, and you planned on doing Airbnb or rentals, woo, you're making out like a bandit, especially if you have a home or a unit that's larger than, I have 2 bedrooms there, but they don't rent like they used to because all these other people are having 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom, 5 bedroom, 6 bedroom residential neighborhood homes. It's out of control. So that's how we do it. Good night, fam. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Like I said, once again, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support, especially the ones with the icons doing the financial support. Thank you for the support for everybody that's being a subscriber. So please make sure you smash that like button. Tell more people about this because we want everybody to win. Your window is still open for winning in the long term. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, we got to go. So make sure it's hard out here, but make sure you keep your head up and you keep moving. And let's get this money. And with all that said, I'm out.